people behind the scenes who have become fans over the years. Myron and I have been working this event for 7 years, and it's a tradition. It's time for me to try his job and let him be the reporter for once. Myron, you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay. Here we go. Thank you.
Good job, Casey. Hey, on behalf of the entire broadcast crew, thanks, China. We love you.
Slax, what are you doing? Myron, you rock. Thank you, buddy.
All right, can I get I want my camera back?
Oh, yeah. Okay. Sorry.
Yeah,
Okay.
thank you.
Okay. All right.
I want my camera
Thank
back.
you. All right. Get in here, buddy. Get in here. The fans are loving this Dota, man.
Who isn't loving this Dota? Everybody loves a good throw.
Okay. You got to do it. Did you bring your banana?
No, I'm not ready for that yet. He didn't say we're doing that yet. It's a best of 5. Don't ruin it again. Throw it back, for God's sakes. What are you doing?
Back to you.
Thank you. That was a great throw indeed. Back to the panel we go. I mean, was it a throw? Can we call it that? Because I felt like it was a great hold that OG did, and not necessarily a throw. I feel like that's two different things.
I don't want to say it was a throw, but Anna not buying back quicker definitely cost. When you saw when they were walking backstage, like he looked really, really down. Seb was patting him on the head, like trying to look up, but I have not seen someone on OG look that down after that.
There's an old saying, every game is throwable if you try hard enough. But I really don't think this.
I think you invented that saying, yeah.
Yeah, never heard that before.
Just quoting smart people, you know.
It's a chaotic game. I think any game with a Meepo is going to be extremely chaotic.
Yeah.
Like new factors coming to play that maybe you're not expecting because it's not a hero we get to see too much. Things can end kind of both ways in an instant. If you just get diebacks, suddenly it's over because he feels like such a massive part of your team play. And then there's also all these cool item counters. Like we talked about the Bloodthorn coming out where it's like, wow, Bloodthorn's an insane item with Meepo because you target one person and then it like constant crits over and over. And then the same idea with the ET got that Aghanims. And we were like, oh, is this it for OG? Because that ET is like going to have that big BKB and everything. But it's always going to be like that, I think, where it's a knife's edge with the Meepo game.
Talking about items, there's Silver Edge on this Meepo who breaks both the Spectre 2 abilities from Spectre Desolate and Dispersion and the Enchantress. So it's pretty easy to play if you can get it off.
Well, I kind of also want to talk about MVPs a little bit because if OG would have won that game, Anna would have been MVP.
Would have been voted MVP for sure.
Would have been voted MVP,
yes.
Correct.
That's what I meant.
You know,
okay.
if you're doing, you know, I loved watching Jarek's that game when they were pushing the high ground. He just had Brown Boots Aether Lens just healing Seb over and over. It was just super obnoxious to watch in a good way.
I think I probably would have voted for a Thompson and the way he was just like constantly split pushing across the map, keeping those lanes out because he's the reason why. Think about the map presence they have. They have a Meepo and a Chen. He should be able to be everywhere, and somehow Thompson is still creeping along the edges of those maps and keeping those lanes pushed to keep OG in that game.
That is very impressive. So you guys wouldn't vote for Anna.
Yeah, we're off Anna.
That's just mean.
It's a carry. I mean,
exactly.
He won the game, but it's a carry, you know?
You know what, actually, I want to, before we're going to see the teams walking out, I want to just quickly say, read a tweet that was sent by Sumail, who is by a lot of players seen as potentially one of the greatest players of all time. He said, the best team ever in Dota is playing versus Liquid Karaoke Boss.
Damn.
So, you know, I feel like he's already got a winner in mind.
He does. A little bit of shade at Liquid, perhaps?
Yeah, we'll talk more about potential.
Ресурсов, чтобы сломать этот трон.
Но байбек
like no other. Nahaz, what do you got for us?
Thank you, Shiver. As we get ready for game 2, the players are just now entering the pods. I wanted to take a quick look at some of the numbers, talking about these two teams' play styles. And I'm going to highlight the 25-minute period, that key mid-game control period where games are decided in this meta. OG, 18.3 kills as a team at that 25-minute mark. That is by far #1 at this tournament, more than 2 ahead of any other team. Liquid, since the main event have started, though, have played incredibly clean Dota, only 9.44 deaths at that 25-minute mark. That is by far the fewest. Liquid, with that game 1 draft, really stole the initiative. What part of that was contesting Roche. These are the most active early Roshan teams in the tournament, first and second in early Roches per game. By 25 minutes, you saw that 25-minute Roche fight, 27-minute rather Roche fight in game 1 played a huge role in deciding that outcome. And smokes, OG's smokes are very early. They're using those smokes to set up kills. Liquid, their smoke usage spikes around the 30 to 35-minute mark as they place more importance on those base pushes, deep pushes into enemy territory. And of course, we can't talk about this team matchup without talking about arguably 2 of the most exciting players ever to grace the TI stage, the A God and the M God. Ana and Miracle, these 2 players are #1 and #2 in kills per minute all time in international play, averaging better than a kill every 5 minutes. They are also the top 5 in GPM all time, both over 600, and they are the only 2 players top 5 in all 3 of those categories. But of course, in game 1, it was the newcomer Weeha on his Meepo that had the biggest impact. Now 28 and 20 in Pro Dota 2 on that hero. He is the winningest pro Meepo player of all time. We are ready to see if OG can bounce back in game 2. Back to our panel.
Thank you so much. I mean, seriously, you're the only one that can talk so enthusiastically about that and still are able to take me with you every step of the way. That is a skill that is very unique, and it just makes me more excited to see this grand finals develop, evolve. What can come next? What is next?
It's true. Ana versus Miracle, right? I mean, we saw the side-by-side just kill after kill, gank after gank. It's just so fun to watch those 2 play. Ana, he's good at farming, but once he gets that farm, the activity on the map he does is just all over the place.
Yeah, I heard the Chinese fans they've dropped the letter. The other, you know how everyone's like A God, M God, B God? They no longer use the letter for him. He's simply God because of the way he's been playing so far this tournament. He's surpassed the tier of needing a letter before his name. So gonna see now if he can manage to take game 2 for his team.
I love the stats about the early game. Both of these teams are known to play extremely aggressive, and the usage of the smokes, that was a really good point from Nahaz.
It was indeed. And we had a roller coaster of first game. I want a roller coaster of a series. Let's find out if that's going to happen in game 2.
OG versus Team Liquid. Grand Finals, Game 2.
Grand Finals Game 2, that's right. Liquid pull out a Game 1 victory just very narrowly against a roster that's so storied. OG, Pyjamas, I didn't get to formally introduce you, but welcome to the panel. Thank you. Still here with Gunnar as well. And I just want to ask you a question about OG as a team. Like, it's unprecedented for the most part that a team with the exact same roster, after an entire year of balance patches, attends another Grand Finals at a level of the game like, you know, maybe Na'Vi was able to do a TI1, TI2. The game has gotten significantly more competitive. How do you think a team like OG has been able to manage such a feat like that?
I think it's somehow they just hit the... Okay, there are like basically 2 reasons, I think. One reason is like they split the team after TI8, right? Okay. Ana left. And like they were just tumbling around. Like they were not looking good. Yeah. Like it was not pretty. And then like I think everyone knew that eventually he was going to come back. Right. So like, yeah, they like connected like, I don't know, it was a few months ago, right? And like they had a bit of time. And they were still not doing that good, but you could see like they were a team again, like they were strong. And then, I don't know, they have like this attitude when it comes to TI. Like somehow they get in this mindset where like they can play carefree. Like they don't stress themselves out. They don't get exhausted. Like they can just keep going. And then like they feel confidence in each other and like they like whatever ideas they have.
So you're saying like the absence makes the heart grow fonder kind of thing? So
oh, for sure, for sure.
Ana leaves for a little bit and you...
I mean, if they were losing the entire year with Ana, then it would be harder.
True.
Like, there's more like baggage. Because like last TI was the same, right? Like he comes in. And like it's not like they haven't played with him before. Like No Tail won majors with that guy, and Seb like he was coach, and he was the coach.
Yeah,
back
he was
then.
the coach then.
So, like, and the other reason is just I don't know. It's like how they play and like the heroes they have. I'm not sure. It just fits TI perfectly.
It does, and we even felt that last TI, and it's not like they're even picking the same heroes as last TI or anything like that, because, well, for one thing, Grimstroke is getting selected. That dude wasn't even at last TI. So it's just, you know, it's that kind of magic that is so difficult to replicate, but Liquid proving that there are some vulnerabilities as they do take game one, and we are moving our way through the draft. Magnus, AA, and IO ban. So instead, OG choose to ban out the Alchemist, and Liquid will, I guess, swap bans. They'll ban the AA instead. Liquid picks up Tidehunter and Templar Assassin. OG has Grimstroke and Tiny.
Yeah, so Liquid had first pick this game, so they gave the threat of the first pick Alchemist.
Ah, okay.
So they banned AA, the Alch gets banned in response, and then the one big change was the Chen ban.
Yes.
Because I think that really helped Liquid's early game.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Speaking of the Shen, like Kuro actually, like that's a new thing for OG too. Like I think Liquid is a scarier, both first pick and second pick team than LGD. Like in terms of the heroes they do. Like when they first pick Shen on Liquid, like you know, like that hero is gonna impact. Like he has a lot of like branches. Like he's comfortable with that hero. He knows what he can do with it and what he wants to do with it. And for like their last pick, like that was a bit of LGD's weakness. I feel like their scariest last picks were like Ami heroes, like Spectre and Slart, which are strong, but it's not the same as getting hit by like a Broodmother, Meep, or Arc Warden. Like those heroes, sometimes you see them, you're like, yikes.
Yeah, everyone always talks about the importance of like a 22nd pick game winner, and like LGD went for like a Darkseer 22nd pick in their elimination game. So ultimately, you need to have that X factor at the end of the draft. It can't just all be front loaded in the first two phases.
It helps because you spoke to me earlier, like similarities, and like it's Liquid do have, like even when they won TI Semi, right? Like there are some similarities, except like they pick these annoying heroes very early for Matu and like deal with it, and then like we'll get something that's
or even like the GH Carl back in the
Earthshaker
as well.
And I feel like OG also they're kind of playing the same as TI with how they play the safe lane, like what here's No Tail plays. Like either he tries to play something that completely gives Ana free farm. Like if you look at a lot of their especially group stage games, Ana is like far above everyone else.
Turn to
like, he usually gets a very relevant player to the game, and Otel has placed this
sacrificial role where it's all about making sure that his one position is enabled.
Yeah, I think that's fair. And and then the other, like he had to play ET last game, right? And he can kind of do the same thing, but like his own game suffers way more when you play ET because you're just running in suiciding basically.
Yeah, like at last year I was like Nature's Prophet.
He had to play ET last game, right? And he can kind of do the same thing, but like his own game suffers way more when you play ET because you're just running in suiciding basically.
Yeah, like at last year I was like Nature's Prophet, right?
Yeah. That's different
here.
here.
Lane.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Liquid's still scared of the Invoker. Yeah, I think they banned it last game too.
They did, yeah.
OG run it in both positions. Thompson's one of like the most famous invokers. Matches well with
other two heroes would do that too much.
I mean OG for like their.
Oh yeah, okay. I don't think I've seen OG do that too much either.
Yeah, but
mainly just newbie. Your boy MSS.
I mean OG for like their.
Oh yeah, okay. So I don't think I've seen OG do that too much either.
Yeah. But
mainly just newbie. Your boy MSS pilot. I was rocking that 4-position invoker like nobody's business.
And also Secret, right?
Yeah, Secret was doing it with the Apsar.
Yeah, it fell a bit out of. It's a little slow. Like it doesn't put that much pressure.
It's just a group stage meme. Is that what you're talking about?
It might be. It might have been. It might have been. We'll see.
OG get their hands on the Ember TA matchup. My matchup's a lot more Ember favored now. It used to actually be TA favored in the lane. But now that you can't really deny, deal like 120 physical or pure damage because
the refraction got nerfed.
You can't deny the creeps anymore, so the Ember can actually pressure you at level 3 and level 5.
I'm actually. This is kind of cool that the TA is coming in because I think it was the Epicenter major, right? The hero was basically first pick.
Yes.
Because she has like very few losing matchups, and even the losing matchups are like, you can get to level 3, 4,
you can just jungle. Yeah.
Exactly, and you'll be fine.
Yeah, that's what we saw in the LGD series.
Yeah, but I don't think she's supposed to be as good anymore. Like I want to see this because let's say it's Ember versus TA mid, right? Because what should be able to happen is like the Ember slightly wins the lane, and then he can just chase after her, like when she's trying to catch up.
So you want like a very high activity Ember. You don't want like a farming lawnmower build Ember that goes for like a radiance or anything like that. You want one that's constantly bothering TA, making sure she can't take ancients, that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I know Thompson was one of the first guys to start going like Medallion on Ember. So he goes like Medallion. I think he went Medallion. Drums Deso, something along those lines.
Okay.
And he plays like in the enemy jungle the whole game and just like chains them and just chases them around.
I mean that's just his style. Like that's what you could see last game. Like what stopped him. Like his Tiny is. I got a little satisfaction from seeing them like just get shut down with the what they're trying to pull. Like,
right.
Because you can see, like, Seb hits level 6 in the offlane, and like normal enches, they stay there and they get the tower, you know. It can take up to 5 minutes.
Because no one can come to that lane once she has impetus.
But like, it's still, she doesn't kill the tower that fast, right? But what he does, he just starts running at the enemy. Like, he'll stand between the tier 2 and tier 1 mid. And like, it's so, like, you can't, it's so hard to do something about it, because all the heroes are so low level. It's like, you can maybe kill him, but like, if you try to kill him and you fail, you basically lose the game.
And even if you do kill him, it takes so many resources to just take him down.
No, it's extremely. And then, you know, then like he's running around there, and then like Thompson hits, like, he has his timing. Like, if he plays Invoker Tiny, then suddenly he's in there too. But that game, like last game, he's just running over traps, running into 4 centaurs, like, and he gets stopped.
I remember like last game when the guy was doing that move. Thompson's walking into the jungle chasing one of the supports, I forget which, Rubik?
Yeah, Rubik.
Yeah, he's chasing the Rubik for like a minute.
Yeah.
Because he got trapped. And you kill the Rubik, and the camera goes to the mid tower, and there's an Ench sitting behind the mid tower, killing a tower while a Tiny is doing his own thing on the map.
Yeah. No, it's when they can run at you, like, they're very frustrating to play against.
And Omni-Knight are definitely a hero that can enable running at you. Still, so far the only strength core that Heavenly Grace is really going to be able to buff up is the Tiny, but obviously that's a great choice, especially once the Tiny gets the Aghanim Scepter. And Liquid going to pick up a Life Stealer.
Even the Ember, though, you can stop him from getting like chain stunned by the Shadow Shaman. Gives him more HP. That's like the one thing they don't think about that much when you get Grace someone. It's 28 strength. That's still HP on every hero.
Yeah.
I mean, he's generally a very good versus Tidehunter and Shaman. Like, if you repel either just Ember or whatever they're picking next, like that guy can just be in there. Like, he's getting stunned for like a second max.
It's also, the Ember could be an Ana Ember.
Yeah.
We didn't talk about that, I think. We mostly assumed it was a Thompson Ember versus the TA.
Okay.
And now that there's a
Where would that put the Tiny, though?
4?
Oh, okay. So it would be Seb, Omni-Knight off lane, safe lane Ember, 4 position Tiny, and then 5 position Grimstroke.
Yeah. I mean, if you want to go like really far out there,
let's hear it.
It could be a Tiny 3 with the Grim, so he can combo with the Inkswell.
Oh.
And then they put the Omni as a 5 with the carry against the Lifestealer. And
So
the Grim would be a 4.
Oh, okay, I see.
If you want to go out there. I feel like that's
against the Lifestealer, that's a bit tricky, though.
Yeah.
Like, Inkswell combos won't be that reliable. And now Liquid being picked up. I mean, sorry, Enigma being picked up for Liquid.
Yeah.
I think they're going to want to better carry than Ember this game. I don't know if we can...
Yeah, I mean, the lane for Ember here is, like, fine, I think.
Yeah.
Like, he can do fine either. I don't know what they have up their sleeves, you know, like, to get something else from mid, but...
They played, what was it, Sven, I think, first? The Lifestealer in the LGD series?
Yes.
It was kind of bad because of the Huskar, I think.
Yeah.
But they like the matchup, so I think that could be it. It's lanes well against Enigma as well. You kill his Eidolons. Monkey.
Okay, so Thompson, Monkey King most likely?
Yeah.
Ana, Ember. Seb as the Omni-Knight, and 4 position Tiny.
I'd assume so, yeah.
And then 5 position Grimstroke. So before we go anywhere, why the Enigma, though? Why did Liquid go for this Enigma pick?
I mean, I think they think kind of simple about it. They have this repel guy going in, right? And he can play like an absolute idiot. Like, they just throw stuff at him and he lives. Now you have the Enigma just black holes him.
Status resistance won't help against black hole.
Exactly.
Okay.
You can't deal with that. Plus, it's like these last pick Enigmas are, you already picked your supports, right? So you don't have any cancels. So it's a free black hole game.
Fair enough. Let's hear from Casey, who's talking to Saksha, team of OG.
It was a great first game. It was back and forth the whole time. Did you, in any way in this draft, are you responding to how things went? We saw that you banned Meepo, or do you think it was just luck that you didn't end up with the win with that first one?
I mean, we talked about Meepo. We knew they were picking it. I would just thought we were actually okay against Meepo. Obviously, the game went it was a hard game, but we came back, so that's the positive side. Yeah, we were happy with the draft, yeah.
Still pretty confident.
With this one? Oh yeah, with this one, yeah, obviously. I know.
Duh.
Yeah.
Well, best of luck to you, and we'll talk to you again soon.
Thank you.
Thank you. Back to you guys.
Thank you very much, Casey. Game 2 of Liquid versus OG here in the best of 5 grand finals of the International 2019, just about to kick off. What a start to the series. What are we expecting from this one, Fog? OG and Liquid coming into this game too. OG, they've been knocked back before at the beginning of a series, and we've seen what sort of a turnaround they can make as the series does unfold. Of course, the famous one being that of this same place, same time last year. Can they do it in this best of 5? Are we going to see them with this draft take a game back off Liquid, or are Liquid going to keep the lead?
They've got a lot of comfortable things coming out for the side of OG, right? We have Ana on his legendary Ember Spirit. We have Thompson on his Master Tier Monkey King, of course.
Master Tier. In
a good matchup. Well, what the players used to say was a good matchup. I know a lot of them talked about that Monkey King versus TA back when you could get the refraction with your denies. Now you have to imagine it's even better for the Monkey King. So Thompson should be able to have a good time there versus Weehaw in the mid lane. This last pick, Enigma, though, very interesting one. I loved what they mentioned on the panel there. I think Pi was the one who said it, how Heavenly Grace makes it really hard for you to set up for kills, but Black Hole cannot be produced because that status just does not work. And there's no cancels, of course, on the side of OG through that BKB that will be coming out for the Enigma eventually in this game, as Miracle leads quite a bit of harassment you see there.
You've certainly got to watch out for what GH is going to be able to bring to the game. But overall, Liquid, once again, having this TA, having sort of a obviously this time the Weehaw TA, we're going to see it in a bit of a different capacity, but they've got still this sort of similar idea, right? This whole fight that can go down with the control that Mind Control and GH can offer that will just give the time and space for Miracle and Weehaw to just disassemble their opponents.
Yeah. It's all about the team fights really coming into play when you start getting toward these later stage games of TI. And we see right away, so a lot of the times we've been seeing the Enigmas, they start in the Radiant jungle. This time he's Radiant, so it's a lot more natural for him. So we see Jerax, he puts a ward inside of the jungle to block one of those camps in that triangle area down in the Radiant jungle, but it actually was spotted. Liquid had already prepared down here with this Ops ward to see everything that's going to be happening. They actually know that that camp is warded, so GH is probably going to stay playing up top for the time being. And just keep denying creep says.
Talk about up top. They got the shackle set up. Mind Control chasing NoTail down. Will be able to get back underneath the tower. In fact, Anna's going to turn, chase down Mind Control, and they'll get first blood, OG. As Liquid try and force the issue a little too hard between the two of them up top. Giving first blood to the safe lane Ember Spirit.
And they had a salve. That was the thing, right? Grimstroke turns, NoTail, he doesn't die. He salves up, he's back up to full. And this is the one thing about when you go for the Gush on the Tide is you're trying to set up for those kills, but you're a lot more vulnerable. He has a stout shield, but Ember Spirit he can hit pretty hard. Same thing with the Grimstroke. They can easily turn.
Down to the bottom lane, Miracle. It's going to be farming up against the Seb Omni Knight with that backup of Jerax at his side. Obviously with GH being in the jungle up the top, it is going to be Miracle entirely on his own for the most part.
He'll get pressured a bit down here just from those toss-back plays. He should be able to catch up decently, but the thing is that Omni Knight does pack a decent punch as well onto that Lifestealer himself. Jerax is just going to keep being annoying too. This is multiple mangoes. Another right click, another toss-back, quick heal probably. Actually held on to it this time. We'll see what itemization that Seb does. I think an Orb of Venom proves to have an incredible amount of value, actually, in the bottom lane, because then you can leave the Omni Knight a bit, and then he can actually right-click and trade with the Lifestealer. So I definitely want to see Seb go for picking that one up, as I think he actually did just buy it, so he will be able to put the pressure onto Lifestealer, just give him that extra right-click, because your Rage is not really an element that you have to worry about when you're going to be pressuring.
We'll see Kuro down here now to just offer some sort of way of alleviating the pressure of these two heroes, keep the distraction high so that Jerax isn't able to stay in the lane, beating down and tossing back Miracle safe lane Lifestealer.
Yep. So we see mid starting to get to that advantage for the Monkey King, constantly getting those Jingu stacks up, again onto Weehaw, and then you can just secure yourself all these denies.
It's a tough lane for Weehaw.
Yeah. But he'll back up in jungle, as Panel mentioned, as we've seen, especially in the earlier series of the day.
He's always going to be able to catch up.
Yeah. Still jungles incredibly efficiently.
Yeah, we've seen him do it many times. You know, his TA really that he's been able to bring out a lot of the times for Liquid, as it seems on the main stage, has always been pretty darn good.
Seb getting turned on there by Miracle. But we'll have to sustain. And now the Orb of Venom is delivered, and this is where he can start to actually push Miracle off of the lane with Jerax.
Jerax again.
Looks for the combo.
Another combo.
Doesn't actually choose for the toss back there.
Miracle was, out of regen and open wounds have been used, but could have potentially have been a kill. Top lane Ana, he's actually going to turn, sort of baiting Mind Control. Look how low he's standing. He's got a sleight of fist, keeping himself out of range of the anchor smash. Ana just darts himself perfectly around the Tide. The Flame Guard will end, so won't quite enough to take Mind Control down immediately, but you've got to imagine there's going to be another sleight fist available. Mind Control just south up in the trees. Another stroke hits, but that south will make sure that the sleight fist from Ana won't quite kill him off. Still, though, he's out of regen now, Mind Control, so will be bullied out of the top lane.
Thompson's really starting to take advantage of this mid lane. He even uses the glyph under the tower, and Weehaw's just forced to sit and meld. healing up with the salve. Thompson's really taking over. He loves this matchup. Another thing that this hero provides you is you can dive and chase the TA, but now GH shows up.
GH from the trees, Thompson. He didn't expect this. He's trying to use the mischief to play it out. He's looking for that forfeit. Cannot get the boundless strike off though. Great move from GH.
That was
catches
clutch.
Thompson off guard. He knows that Thompson, as you say, is going to play like this. He's looking for these dives, these plays around the tier 1 towers. GH is prepared.
Super clutch. Weehaws definitely better give him like a big hug or something after that play. As he'll be able to go back and continue to jungle as he gets an Arcane Rune on GH, and he's actually saving gold. You see he's queued up, he's got the gloves. He's got the Dominator in his quick buy, but I think he might be contemplating a minus.
He's thinking about it. I won't be surprised we're at 4.5 minutes in and being that close to it.
Yeah, especially after setting up for that kill. We will see Thompson go right back to the mid lane though, and we'll be able to continue pressuring Weehaw quite easily as that Monkey King with the matchup.
And just certainly have to be aware of the potential of GH maybe coming across again. Obviously with that ward that OG do have down that they placed earlier in the jungle, they'll see any movements from that kind of angle. GH is going to start to have a bit of a poke on the Jerax. Trying to go for the shackles, but with the Avalanche already out, Jerax will not be held down.
Looks like it won't be the Midas. He buys boots, buys clarities. He's just going to jungle. And looks like he wants to actually move around and make plays because he's got the points in the Malefice already. Maybe he wants to just be more active around the map and be able to respond to the aggression that he knows that OG's going to do, right? You know how OG's going to play. You know Thompson is going to do well in the laning phase, and then he's just going to run around and try to set up kills all over the place. So being able to respond quickly, that looks like it's going to be the approach for GH.
And he's got relatively good cores to do it around, right?
Yes.
Other cores that offer in Weehaw's case a good bit of damage. See down bottom, Miracle's case, that extra bit of slow and disable. Mid lane, Thompson, look at the balance up. We are trying to commit. There's the wraparound. Jerax comes in with the gank, tosses back. We are, as he tries to go in for that kill attempt, will not get away with it. OG able to easily turn it around with the 3 at the mid. See the wait for the 6-minute runes. OG, again, you see how much they prioritize those power runes early on. Jerax is going to be the one that's able to grab a haste rune. Level 3, so has got the levels to try and make a bit of a play onto Kuro. Diving him underneath the tower. Kuro, he'll stand with the shackles. Another blast, but Jerax just has the combo damage, bring him down. Stick charges from Kuro. Actually keep him alive, and now the haste rune is worn out. And Miracle, he's in for the free kill.
He did not do the math. Kuroki did though.
See him,
though, top.
Both carries getting a bit of action. Top lane, Ana and Notel able to set up for another kill for that safe lane. Ember getting in behind the tier 1 towers. Well, there's 3 points in the sleight of fist. Now with the 6th, the remnants as well. He hurts.
Yep.
It's a dangerous lane for Mind Control to return to.
And they really love playing this Grimstroke combo with these melee heroes that can quickly get on top of targets with that high-level ink swell. We'll probably still see an early-level Phantom's Embrace, because I think that's another reason why they picked it versus the Tide.
Heading in GH.
So annoying, but Ana should be okay. He's got the remnants like you were talking about.
GH not quite with the mana at all to offer a Black Hole follow-up. It's Jerax.
Keep tabs with Weehaw, don't let him just really jungle. As I feel like every time we've seen Weehaw actually playing as this Templar Assassin, he gets away with murder in the jungle. He just sits there farming it over and over again and doesn't get pressured. OG is not going to give him that option. 3 cores of OG are farming very well. As to be expected, you're playing versus an Enigma draft. That's kind of, if you're not doing well in the early game, you're not doing well in the laning phase, you're in a big amount of trouble. So they are quite ahead there. And Mind Control is starting to get punished quite a lot up top, as we saw from Ana, as well as Grimstroke of No Tail.
I love the scan from Liquid that does reveal that No Tail's hunting behind the tier 1. Heading over towards the direction of GH. He's going to look to get another ancient stack going. Didn't quite manage to make it happen there.
Oh, No Tail blocked it, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, he
so it's sitting on just the edge of the square, No Tail.
Yep. As top though, Ana, he's just looking to keep pressuring onto Mind Control here, but Mind Control will be able to step away.
No Tail does want to try and go for this with Mind Control being as low as he is. Cannot close the gap with the ink swell. Oh, that's a beautiful black hole. G8 just casually stands in position. He didn't even have to move for it. As they're just both sat down. Ana's trying his best to get away with the Remnant now. He will be able to escape. As that nearly was a huge disaster for OG losing 2. They're lucky that Ana was able to get out of there.
They're lucky that Jerax was close enough to get an avalanche there, otherwise very likely to die.
He would have been dead. He really would have, but as it is, Ana lives. Only No Tail.
And when he comes back, he can full heal JerAx as well. So they can look to make an aggressive play up here.
I mean, yeah, they're immediately back over. Now they know they can be extra aggressive, right? There's no black hole.
Yeah, very important that Ana survives there. But great, I mean, GH so far in this game, as an Enigma who's jungling, able to put so much pressure on the map.
His positioning has always been where he would ideally be.
Yeah.
Where his team needs him to be standing, GH is there to ready to hold their hands.
He's got that Dominator build finished. So we will have that creep always running around, probably just stacking camps for the early game and then gonna start looking to set up kills, because it is a Centaur Conqueror, so it is one of the better ones to actually set up for those ganks. As mid, they really want to sandwich on Kuroki.
Straight in, Kuro is going to have to charge the turn upon the shackles. They're doing their best to keep Ana alive. Big swell buffs up, and there's the stun. Connecting on a GH, they're ready to die for more. Thompson straight down behind the tower, jumping forward, looking for GH. Stun for the Centaur Conqueror with the helmet. The Dominator is keeping GH. Finally falling as Thompson gets him. We have now turn towards OG. They managed to take away two. They'll continue to chase. They will lose Notow, but Thompson's back over. Barrel is straight down. They'll surround the TA. We are surely will fall. No, they don't have detection. He's got the meld. He'll stay hidden. They'll go for Kuro instead. Miracle trying to chase for more. Another stun indeed from the Centaur Conqueror. The Micro making it real, but Miracle still has to be careful. The Rage is finished and Ana's Flame Guard still persists as they'll chase into the trees. Thompson's got the lockdown. Boundless strikes out. Miracle will fall. OG.
The 3 core is just running around as a unit right now for OG, looking to kill everybody on Liquid. Look at the map right now.
I mean, they're thinking about going
Look at the lanes. The lanes are all open. They're just battling.
He's able to chop the tree down. Mind control. Quick with the lumberjack plays. Gonna see if he can try and Ravage does get the 3 of them. Seb's getting burst slower, heals out in time. We Are comes across. Hex lockdowns there for Kuro. They'll get Thompson. Liquid, can they punish OG even more for diving into this? The X-Well, Sleight of Fist again. Mind control. He's stunned up. The Flame Guard, the Sleight of Fist damage is too much for them this early on. Kuro puts off the ward. He's got the shackles. He's holding him down. Hex is out as well. Kuro finishes off Ana all by his own. And We Are get Seb as well. OG, all 5 out of the game as Liquid say, get out of our half of the map.
10 minutes in, and we have 10 heroes duking it out over the ancient area.
That's what we want to see.
There's farm in every lane. Bounty runes are spawning. I think every single game that we see, it's like, guys, bounty runes. Every team starts running over to bounty runes at those 5 minutes. Not this game. These teams are just bringing the battle to each other.
And I think that, this is why these teams were so excited to face each other in the grand finals. You know that Kuro and Notow, they wouldn't have it any other way than to meet face to face in the best of 5 grand finals.
I feel like we hear the teams talk about this a lot when they get to the later stages. They're like, I want to play versus this team. And they're like, why do you want to play versus this team? And it's like, because they like to just fight, and we like to fight, and that's what makes Dota fun.
I mean, OG's already eyeing up the chance to get back over.
It's constant. GH.
They're diving. Chains are there. 7 Notow with the back of GH. He is going to struggle to hold them off. We'll get a Midnight Pulse down, but the Purification Burst from Sebs is enough to bring him low enough. Notow getting the finishing blow. As OG, as soon as Liquid kill them all and get them back over to the base, they are straight back over, keeping the pressure on. We'll see here, fantastic turnaround from Liquid with that Ravage, and then of course that beautiful ending. Kuro able to get that kill on Ana, all on his own.
And all little things too, right? That fruit, even the Dark Turtle Summoner that GH controls, and he gets the net onto the Omni Knight, he can't actually get into Heavenly Grace and protect targets. So
GH,
every little thing matters.
This Helmet Dominator, I don't think I've seen anyone use it as well as GH has been able to in these first 12 minutes.
Yeah.
The Micro has been absolutely on point. We're 9-9, less than a 1K difference at just under 13 minutes in between OG and Liquid in this game too.
You can feel the way that OG's playing is that they want to punish the greed. Liquid went for greed. They've got Midas on the life stealer. They have an Enigma in their trap. OG wants to just keep this battle running at them, which is very OG-like. They just want to fight.
Just gonna have vision with the rest of this ward, and Thompson set up perfect from the trees. Wukong's command down. Boundless strike already used. It doesn't matter. He's able to jump forward, look to chase Miracle. Miracle does get the jukes off. Now it's the movement speed with a phase boost. He'll get himself out across the trees. They'll still try and chase. Thompson, Boundless still unavailable for 6 seconds, so Miracle will actually be able to escape. GH, he comes forward. He starts to have a bit of a punt. Stuns out, but Ana, he's in with the wraparound. Chains around. Boundless strike back up. Slam down onto the Enigma. GH is gone. They're diving up towards tier 3's OG. They're in the base. They get mind control as well. There's still every single tower up in the mid lane, but OG They're taking the fight to the base.
Dude, look at this. Look at this. All the lanes are open. All they want to do is battle. Weeha's well gonna get caught out. This is ridiculous. And now they're gonna say, okay, now they're prioritizing. Like, all right, now we've sandwiched onto a tower. Now we can go for this one.
Oh, yeah, hey, does anyone else want to take a tower? Yeah, go on then, Seb. Yeah, let's go on then. We'll take some of these objectives. We can hold back on the killing for a little bit. 13-9, OG able to break a little bit ahead there with that play.
I don't think I've ever seen something like this in a game, though. Where
and in a grand finals of TI.
Exactly. They're literally just ignoring lanes. They're open for heroes to farm, but who cares about farm? Look at this. The 3 cores of OG, they see Lightstone on the map. All 3 of them immediately run to bottom. They're like, get him.
It shows.
He has to hide.
They want to collapse. Rage in a TP will do it. Nowhere to hold him down. Miracle's out of the neighborhood.
And they'll set up for this tower now.
That's how, well, I guess there's no kills to be had around here. We've got to take the tower. So yeah, Anna will reluctantly take it.
But they're going to battle top. They see mind control for a second.
All right, here we go.
A kill has been spotted.
Let's have a look. Ravage is available as well as the black hole as GH gets over. Toss back underneath the tower. Mind control starts with the anchor smash. Thompson, he's already got the Jingu built up. Avalanche control and mind control causing issues. He needs the rest of his team to get it. They're not going to come. Mind control's going to be left for dead.
My God, just relentless. Just relentless running at them. They're really trying to punish the greed. I think that's the biggest thing to point out here is that OG, they do not want to give any type of low period. When you look at Liquid's draft, it's a slow-paced draft that's based off of cooldowns. They don't want Weeha to be able to get away with murder like we were talking about earlier about going to the jungle and just farming. No mercy. As another tower, they'll find this one here because they're in this lane looking for kills. So another tier 1, but it gets denied.
Good play there for Nota. Gets the silence out before a Rage is available. Stopping Miracle from being able to commit through the stun.
Phantom's Embrace could catch a lot of things off guard here on the Liquid's draft. Like we mentioned, versus the Tide Hunter especially too. That Kraken Shell can be very annoying to play against if you're versus Phantom's Embrace. Just constantly applying that silence on yourself.
I need that Dessa done on Weeha. Yeah. Then you know, it becomes a little scarier to keep this aggression up, and until that point, OG, they're going to move forward, but GH from the tree line, Black Hole's down as well as the Serpent Woods. Serpent will be able to offload the GA, but Mind controls Ravage, caps the 2 of them. They've got the lockdown, Shackles around, Thompson surrounded, he'll turn with a Boundless Strike, but the 4 of them will kill him off. Anna's going to jump in. They want to try and make sure they can find the trades. Who can they get? Inkswell stun connects on the Mind control. They're on top of them, burning them down with the Flame Guard, but Liquid, they're holding themselves close to the wards, saying, you can come, OG, but OG, they won't fall for that trap. They won't force the fight any further. They've lost Thompson.
That was 3 ultis for Thompson, though. That's Black Hole.
I mean, it is Thompson.
Serpent Wards.
It's quite a high-value play.
That's very true. But the location where they get it right, you can tell that OG, they're the ones dictating the pace, forcing reaction after reaction after reaction by Liquid. Forcing them to use literally triple ultimates to kill their mid laner because they have that Omninet behind him.
Now we're doing Deso for Weeha, 100 gold away.
He's getting the space. His team is trying to fight back, giving Weeha some time to get that item that he really needs in this game.
For Miracle, needs that armlet done after the Midas. Then you have 2 cores that you really have to be careful about diving upon as OG.
Mind control, he's been spotted.
Thompson,
they want him.
Found him alone. As again, Thompson and Jerax able to find these quick and easy pickoffs. Kuro's going for the TP out. Anna has not got any disable backup to hold him down. So Kuro will escape. But Thompson, as soon as he's taken out of the game on the top lane, he is straight back in and he's killing people already.
Yep. It's non-stop, and they even smoke. Look at this. He kills bottom, the line is drawn.
They just want to go, go, go. This is a beautiful pace that OG's bringing out here in game 2. They have the 3K lead. They'll know that they're around.
Take out the Ops Ward as well. Thompson will kill it.
But there aren't those big ults, as you mentioned, straight in towards the tier 2 tower. Anna has no fear as he collapses immediately on top of the TA. Weeha surrounded. The control that No-Tail offers is too much for Weeha to withstand at the moment. Jump forward, over towards Kuro. Anna just loving the pace that he can play with Thompson by his side, running down hero after hero as OG just keep the kills a coming.
They're just moving too fast. The pace that they're setting is just too quick for Liquid to respond right now. Mind controls is being, look at Mind controls net worth. I don't think I've seen that almost ever. He is bottom 3 net worth.
Bottom 3, bottom of the sea.
166.
He's got to try and get himself up to some shallower waters. As he's got a big recovery to do. Sure, we've seen he can still make very impactful plays with the Ravage alone at the moment.
That's too fast of a pace though still. OG, if they have anyone, if they have their cores together, which they've pretty much been doing all the time, it's so hard to bring them down. We see how hard Heavenly Grace counters all of these disables that do come out.
Mahan, a Miracle will be able to get away with this play every time. Rage CP, nothing to stop it.
Liquid's trying to find any type of place to farm in very unexpected places. Look at where my control is right now, and look at where GH is.
Oh.
This is them just being like, OG seems to just know where we are on our side. Let's take the farm from their side.
That's the thing, right? They know that OG is just looking for fights. Look at it.
Yep.
They're fighting up towards tier 3s. This is literally where OG doesn't want to be. They don't want to be on their half of the map. That's defensive, slow, and boring. So that does give this space. And Liquid's starting to make a bit of use of it. OG into the pit is spotted out by the Weehard trap.
Yep.
Can they do anything with it? They've got Black Hole and they've got the Rev.
Yep, they've got their ultis available. OG, they have their Guardian Angel as well, but Seb is relatively low on mana. They stop the Rosh, and they're like, oh, heroes have been spotted. Go for the fight. Miracle is in the mid lane.
They're going to go for jump on Miracle. Instant rage and a back off. Still, they managed to sandwich them. If Liquid can get the Tide and the Enigma in, they could go for a good fight from the low ground. Kuro,
Miracle
disabled. He traps up No-Tail in the circle wars. Miracle's the focus. Miracle will fall. They're walking over Mind Control. Tries to get around the gun, but he can't. Boundless strikes out.
No silence.
Is embraced again. No-Tail stopping Mind Control for being able to offer the damage for now. And Anna and Thompson, they're still good to go. Dust is out. They've got the detection prepared. Weehard's left behind. They've taken both cores. They're going to get the third as well by the looks of it. It's OG. They jump over, catch out Mind Control, and they'll also toss back in GH as OG. They just keep killing every single member of Liquid over and over again. They're playing the fights perfectly.
The execution of these fights is absurd right now.
It doesn't get any better than this from OG.
It's 31 kills at the 21-minute mark. They're just, sorry, at the 20-minute mark, they're running around, bounty rune spawn. They just kind of fake that Rosh a little bit. They know. They're like, oh, there's a TA trap in here. They have to know that they're versing a TA, and they have to know there's traps in there. And then they just bring the fight. As soon as Liquid shows a member, they don't care. They get the boundless strike when it looks like Mind Control's trying to get a perfect Ravage, and then he gets silenced, and from there, the fight gets so hard.
He knows exactly. A bug on Mind Control, bam. Yep. They cannot do anything. You saw GH moving as well. If Mind Control gets that Ravage off, GH is able to get in with a Black Hole. Maybe they limit the casualties. Maybe they're able to at least bring someone down with them from OG, but it's not the case. OG using every spell in the right order and on the right target.
Yep, and they're itemizing really well now too. We see Seb, he went for the Medallion early on into a Vlad's. And what are we looking at on the side of Liquid? It's pretty much, I mean, they have magical damage too, but the Templar Assassin is really the one that's going to be dealing all that damage on their lineup. And he's going to have a much harder time versus a Solar and Vlad's on being thrown on the target that he's focusing.
And again, sort of the chaos of these fights, you know, sure, it's sort of been a group effort, but look how well they're able to prioritize their main man, Anna. He's only died the once in all of these engagements. He's 7, 1, and 11. So despite the fact that sometimes you'll see Thompson fall, they're throwing bodies in, they're getting so much done that Anna is able to benefit off.
And it's not like Thompson's not farmed. He's actually ahead of Anna in the farm here. He has a Radiance with the Echo Saber already finished.
Excuse me?
Versus a TA. This is a Radiance versus TA so early on. This evasion,
21 minutes in
of the Radiance onto that refraction as well, it's going to prove to be super problematic. And even versus Blink Daggers, that's the other thing that we know that Thompson, why he really likes Radiance, is when you throw down your Wukong's command, all of your individual monkeys get the Radiance applied in that AoE. So getting Blink Daggers and blinking and ravaging and causing chaos is near impossible.
You cannot escape it. You need the BKB and Blinks if you want to try and make a jump, and even then, you're still going to be slowed down in the way that you had to commit with them.
Yep.
As Roshan, OG's in the pit, no chance of Liquid heading over. As Anna will claim the Aegis. And with 3k gold towards the next item.
Mind Control hide. They saw him for a second.
He's got a TP. They've obviously got ways to cancel it, OG. I don't think.
Oh, he's sprays him already.
Mind Control's getting out of this one. He shows himself. They get a glimpse of him. And it's just more and more gold and glory for OG. 22 and 10, 22 minutes in. This is the OG you expect to see after they go down a game in game one. They are relentless with the pressure that they're applying.
No mercy. You pick a greedy trap versus them, you know that this is the way that they're going to play. Just running around looking for non-stop plays, especially when they have Thompson on Monkey King and Anna and Ember. These are just incredibly fast-paced.
Miracles. It's been found again. They get the combo in. He's not able to get the rage off. The Phantom Embrace from No-Tail, along with that combo, leaves no chance for Miracle to get out of there. And now they can start looking for some towers. It's got to that point again when OG said, all right, we've done enough killing. Let's get some more objectives. Tier 2 tower in the middle lane will be taken. Weehard doing his best. They keep that top lane pushed out. Has the blink of the Deso, so can try for these plays. Bottom lane, GH and Mind Control. They're eyeing up Thompson.
But he's got Seb, and then, oh look, Heavenly Grace, 2,500 health Monkey King walking around. No fear in the world at all as we hunt.
I mean,
Derek's already there.
He's in position. That's going to allow Thompson to close the gap. And we are.
There's a Radiance.
They do not have detection, but he is slowly burning.
They've got another toss as well.
Oh. This is, burnt to pieces.
This is
Burnt
this
to
snowball
smithereens.
is out of control by OG right now.
That's a painful way to go. As OG, you can feel the magic that they're bringing right now. This is what has brought them to this point of the tournament. This is why they are your defending champions. If they turn it up, if they hit this right sort of pattern of plays.
And look at this mind control. He wants something. Anything.
Stop. OG are making this game 2 hurt for Liquid. This is painful right now.
This is just the beautiful. Look at the damage coming out from the cores.
To have that much damage just to hero them at 24 minutes in, this is ridiculous.
Yeah. Just keeping all the aggressive moves, like you said. Liquid, they were trying to even move the Enigma, move the Tidehunter out onto the OG side of the map, but OG's like, no, we're going to keep all the aggression onto Liquid's side. Don't let them get any breathing room in this game. Put down deep aggressive wards, and just keep running at them. Don't let Miracle get this Radiance online. He's almost got it, though. That's the one thing. Miracle has his phase, has the Midas, has the armlet, and will soon have that Rad. But the rest of his teammates are so far behind. And a TA, when you're playing from behind like this, is incredibly difficult when you're versus these natural targets.
He cannot show his face in the fight, sweetheart.
And remember, when they open with TA, you're setting yourself up to this. OG, they like triple down to make sure they have things to do with him. Omni Knight is an incredibly good hero versus TA at all stages of the game. Jarex, he's already prepared bottom, waiting for the next kill to set up.
Shoot,
They already got TPs coming.
In come the TPs. Jarex, he's in with the setup. They'll still get the blink off. Did have enough charges left on Refraction to get it out, and he's going for the TP away. They will not catch him. So this time Weeha will get himself away from this terrifying squad from OG that is just moving from lane to lane. You cannot show your face without the expectation of 3 heroes immediately collapsing on you.
Mana.
Got the vision here, as they'll get in with the setup. Kuro tries his luck, tries to get out. Doing the warning for the team. Jarex has also found mind control. Anna's still diving in towards the base as we are.
He got Thompson's tree.
We are. Tries to turn with the meld here. Thompson's there with the boundless strike. Weeha is just dying inside the base.
This mobility it's just absurd. Ember's Bird and Monkey King, they're everywhere. You cannot set up anywhere on the map. They just get across the map too quickly.
I feel like we're just saying that you cannot let OG have these 2 cores together. They just play off each other so perfectly. The timings that these heroes hit, they're just on top of you at the same point of the game, and it just doesn't slow down.
Yeah. Bit of a timing window here for Liquid. Oh my god, Miracle. Dropping solo. They've got Blink Dagger on the Tidehunter now. But Jarex actually, I believe, countered. Yeah, I think he counseled his TP. Up top, mind control can't get back to base.
He cannot.
Chased around. And now Thompson's cutting off the escape route as well already.
There's no tide for the defense. As he can run, he could deal with the creep wave, but he's not going to be able to head back and help out if a fight does kick off in the middle. As they'll find him, they'll chase him. Monster kill for Thompson.
My god.
It's incredible to see how hard OG is punching back after that game 1 loss.
They're really just giving no room to Liquid at all. No room in the map, just constant mobility, constant running around, constant fighting. And Miracle, like we said, he's kind of farmed. They have the BKB on the Enigma as well with that blink on the Tidehunter. But OG, they have a 15,000 gold lead, a 20,000 experience lead, and they have given, what? I think they've only given OG 1 or 2 towers in the last 10 minutes and no kills.
It's a full Skadi on Thompson. At 20 minutes in. This game, I think it is entirely on GH and mind control to make some incredible 5-man play. That's the only way right now.
That is really how it feels. And they have the BKB Black Hole, which is not counterable from OG, at least with the stun. But OG's tanky.
Yeah.
And getting into them as well, right? If they have the Wukong's down, lay down, he's gonna die if he gets that Black Hole off.
He will.
And now also, they've got a better way to heal each other and help each other. There's an Aghanim's on Seb. So that Guardian Angel is going to provide that massive amount of HP regen as well as that protection from wherever he's going to be to pop it off. I don't think they're going to have the damage to deal with OG at all.
Miracle trying to push into Thompson, but with the items that Thompson has and the burst that he does, Soulbind's out. They're going to try and jump forward. The Wukong's come on, it's now Mind Control off the Ravage. The GH's already out. They've got the black hole. GH falls those. He's stuck inside the Wukong. 3 dead on Liquid. OG just beating them down one by one. The buybacks will come out from both Kuro and Miracle. But both GH and Mind Control are gone without their ultimates and without buyback. The game continues to worsen for Liquid as OG past the racks on top of Miracle, tossing him back into the boundless. Triple kill for Thompson.
Wow.
As OG, this entire game has been a highlight reel for them. He gets something. It's a lot of money, of course, Anna. So that's a little bit of glory for Liquid.
Oh, Jarex. It will go down, maybe. No, the heal, they give the rampage to Thompson.
Extra bit of salt in the wounds there. As they're holding on.
They're going to give them the respect, though. They're going to back up.
Well, I feel like OG doesn't mind. They're enjoying this. They're loving this. They don't want this to end. They want to keep playing. They've got such a lead on all 3 cores that right now in the booth, OG are really enjoying themselves right now.
Oh, especially Thompson. 16, 3, and 14. Part of 30 of the 35 kills on this Monkey King. That is insane in this type of game on the finals of TI.
E-Blade on Jerax. Everybody's getting their items on OG.
Yep. Some luxury ones, of course, but
yep.
just not letting Liquid get anything. They have a Templar Assassin who is at 11,000 net worth at 30 minutes. You don't hear that very often. Usually when you hear a TA at 30 minutes, he's going to be peaking at the 18, 15,000, 17,000 gold marks, maybe even higher than that. OG just not allowing Liquid to play with this draft at all. They're sandwiching and closing the map off even more, picking up those more luxury items and Aghanims now, of course, for Ana too, so he can just be even more mobile. And there's no black hole for 60. Ravage is up at 30. OG just walk up to this high ground. And another Aghanims, of course, too, for Thompson. Liquid can't fight into this. They are just far too strong on OG right now.
Their only hope is with the black hole and a Ravage, and we saw even last time, it was exactly as you said it would. If Wukong's command is down, BKB black hole is not going to last long enough, and even if it did, they just do not have the damage right now to kill these heroes.
They're too tanky, and like I said, to a Seb, right? Seb in the back line, just able to heal everybody with that Guardian Angel.
He's already trying to pull the wave away from mid, but they're chasing.
They saw Weehawk. He doesn't have BKB.
Jerax is over. There's the E-Blade combo coming out. A GH to celebrate as the fight continues down bottom, making sure that No-Tail doesn't go down. The 2 of them soul-bound together. Anna's in with a change. Boundless strikes down on a Miracle. Miracle cannot get out of this one alive. He's dead without buyback. Mind control as well. The chase never ends from OG.
You have to imagine they tap out of this one pretty soon as OG, 31,000 gold lead. So many different items picked up. They're cleaning up the last racks. A Dagon even picked up No-Tail.
He's popped the BKB. He's going to go for the black hole on the 2 of them. Does hit the pulse down. In fact, gets Anna as well with the wraparound, but they just don't take any damage at all. GG is called. The suffering will finally come to an end for Liquid in this game too, as OG take the victory 1-1 now in this best-of-5 grand finals. And Liquid, well, they've got to be feeling pretty shaken up after that game. OG coming into this game too, showing why they are the defending champions from last year. This is one of the most dominant games we've had in a grand finals. Nothing at all went Liquid's way in that match.
It's crazy how much Thompson and Ana were able to do. Even Seb too, right? He was running around. We saw the 3 cores from OG literally just running around from lane to lane to lane, killing anybody that showed their face on Liquid. Mind Control ended this game 1-12-6. They didn't ever let him even try to recover in this one. They didn't let Weeha recover at all either. They just did not let anybody on the side of Liquid even get to play the game with Dota 2.
What a game. What a game too. And ladies and gentlemen, as I say, with that, the series now tied 1-1. Liquid, they've got to do some serious revising to come into game 3 with something totally different, as this game 2, they got dismantled.
They got dismantled for sure. Thank you, OD Pixel and Fogged. And I'm sure that Tsunami, Pilot, and Febby can tell us a little bit about why Liquid was slaughtered like that.
Yeah, you can call me Envy because I had to kick Gunner. But Pi, I wanted to ask you, you had questions about the TA versus Ember matchup. You were skeptical, like, is this really a first phase caliber pick? And it seems like OG are proving that it's not.
Yeah, I mean, they didn't even end up laning against each other. Like, it seems like there is a lot of picks that can go mid against TA now. And then, like, you know, they push the tempo, right? Like, the TA wants to go farm, and they chase her, or they kill all the other lanes. Like, you can call it mid, like, mid is leaking. Because, like, that guy you just lane against, he's just killing everyone on the map.
Wait, what was the phrase?
It's leaking.
Leaking?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, I see what you mean.
Spilling over.
And then even like the combat is spilling over. Febby, it doesn't seem like, am I crazy or are we just seeing like a lot more team, but you're kind of shrinking there, Pi?
Yeah, I'm feeling
I'll join you down there. It seems like there's a lot more combat than usual going on at this TI. Am I crazy or are we seeing like a ton of team fights?
Yeah, so I mentioned how in the meta shifts like twice in TI. It especially shifts in grand finals, especially. If you compare group stage and main stage games, in main stage you will notice there's a lot more team fight. It's because teams don't want to lose anyone. Like they want to play more like a team, less efficiency, like more like a team. So that's why like that kind of stuff works. OG just ran down mid at like 10 to 15 minutes. Enigma no black hole, Tide no ravage. If you're in group stage, you will just like let the other team run down mid. Like they're not gonna get any kill, just farm off 2 side lanes. But I think Liquid kind of like wanted to not lose anyone, so like you could see that kind of skirmish going on, even if there was no black hole, no ravage. I think that's what happened. Like teams want to like play like a team. They don't want to lose anyone.
Yeah, it's a product of just the pressure of the environment, or like are you trying to get the crowd on your side? You know, you hit a big black hole, everyone's going wild, that kind of thing. You want to get the crowd on your side, or you just like, if I lose a hero, like that's not good. I'm not playing my game then.
Yeah, so like playing at TI is definitely pressure. Playing in main stage is definitely pressure too because of the crowd. Grand finals is more pressure because of like the title, the championship title is on the line. So what OG tried to do with that Monkey King Ember pick against the Tide Enigma, those 2 heroes have very long cooldown. So they just wanted to run at them over and over again. Even with no tower hitters, it worked because they reacted. Yeah. It doesn't make sense. The Dota doesn't make sense, but it worked because of how tight and confidently they just like ran over them.
I mean, there's also this thing how OG plays in general, where they kind of ignore that towers exist, and like they play as if they didn't exist. So they play behind the towers and they fight you. So like I looked, there was like 5-6 minutes and OG were winning every lane, and like you just know then that like you're in for people running at you. Like they're just stampeding across the map, and yeah, you like it's so hard to play against because you have to pick the perfect battles, right? And then like you avoid them, but you get sucked into like a mediocre one, you waste a spell, and like they just keep coming.
They knew where they ran to too. They kept running down around mid, so TA couldn't farm at all.
Yep.
So I think that was very good too.
Do you think that also controlled the itemization? Because Topson Monkey King ended up building a Aghanim Scepter, and that is something that I have not seen particularly frequently. We haven't really seen Monkey King that frequently. Do you think that it's like it's the brawling kind of build? You think he was just joking around? It was a comfort thing?
Radiance Aghanim is a kind of like a staple build too.
Oh, so Aghanim is coming into favor then?
Yeah, especially with Radiance.
Yeah.
Fair enough
just
then.
A solid item.
Yeah, it gives you stats, gives you like, you don't have to get BKB, makes your hero very strong.
Solid item, and I guess a pretty solid hero in the hands of Topson for sure, but pass it on back to the main panel for right now.
Thank you, and I think you were right there too. Topson did make it as the MVP, and by a long shot as well. I'm here with Gods and Grant and Lacoste. 42,000 votes for Topson. Gods.
I mean, sorry.
Oh,
Go on. The voice of gods.
Yes.
So, yeah, Topson definitely deserved it. His aggressiveness early on. I mean, the whole team is playing so aggressive Dota. They're diving tier 3 towers when there's all tier 1 towers alive in the game. That's just insane to me. The amount of the pressure they put on playing around these big ulti cooldowns from Enigma and Tide Hunter, it's just beautiful to watch. I don't know if you can pick a late game against them because they're just going to run over you.
At least not that much late game. They had all of these big long cooldowns they're trying to play around, and meanwhile there's Ember, Monkey King, heroes that are always ready to fight. Ana was absolutely everywhere. Topson was everywhere. Seb was coming to all the fights. They were just go, go, go.
They really were. And Anna, I feel like he's also playing the mental game a little bit. We actually have some footage about what Anna does to try and get into the heads of his enemies. Heads of his enemies.
No, there's one thing that you did that triggered me. Not triggered. Trigger is a hard word. It's more like you could have. You could do better. It was Ti9 when you were saying that. Oh my God, I always remember, man. We had so little confidence, and then you were like, "Are we only gonna play Alchemist?" And it's like one day before we go into the tournament. Do we only have one strat with Alchemist? Because I think it sucks. Yeah. That was it. And that was it. And then we're like, but Anna, we're like, what do you think? Like, you like Ember? No. Not good dispatch. Invoker? No.
I'm pretty sure every person in that car, except the driver, went like, we're at the same time. Wait, what? It's like, just looking straight like,
we looked at each other and
lost.
we're like, we're fucking lost, man. When was it? In the car?
The car to TI.
Oh.
The atmosphere in the car was like, morning, going to the airport kind of atmosphere, and then you hear this, and it's like pretty fucking serious because we had 3 strats, like Invoker, Alchemist, and something else. I was like,
we have only one strat because it's really bad. And this is your Alchemist player, you know, like everything relies on him. Okay, we're in for a good one, boys.
To be honest, if you only have one strat, that's perfectly fine if you're just able to win with it all the time.
I thought they had one strat and it's fluking Cheever.
I mean, that worked pretty well for them, so yeah.
Might as well keep doing it, yeah.
Well, that second game definitely was not a fluke. We have the stats for it as well, and I think they kind of speak for themselves. You see in the Mind Control 1, 12, and 6, and you're like, okay, you know what? That guy didn't really have a game.
Yeah, Mind Control, bottom 3 net worth pretty much the whole game. You don't expect that from him. He's the kind of a guy that always bounces back, plays aggressive, but in this kind of a situation, he had a really bad lane and really hard to recover because OG is just controlling the map, taking it one objective by another, and there's not enough space to farm. Like, either you win a team fight and then you get a farm, or you're not getting any farm at all.
Yeah, because the Tidehunter just wants to sit in one lane, like, cool, you have a Ravage, maybe you TP in your fight, but you just want to sit in one lane and occupy that. And the fact that you couldn't, because there's a Monkey King jumping at you, an Ember running at you, you can never just TP out. You're just kind of dead in the water at that point.
Yeah, getting in the water. I don't know how I'm going to transfer that to Casey and Slacks, but I'm going to try. How's the weather out there?
Oh, the weather is fine. How we doing, party people? We're going to talk to as many people as we can. Wait a minute. So, is there anything else you have to say other than,
Yeah.
Come on!
I can't say much anymore. I've almost lost my voice.
There's a big group of you here.
Group, and we're trying to be the loudest.
And you all don't know each other.
We don't know each other. We've met behind the casters table. That's where we met.
Yeah?
Every game we come down there, all around the world. That's where we go on every stream.
All of the streams. That's basically it.
Okay, so how do you rank this TI?
Oh, insane!
It's been ridiculous. It's like the most hype. OG had the best story of any team ever, and they're here. We're here in the grand finals. It's crazy.
Hi. Well, we just want to say that, this game between Liquid and OG here, right? Yeah, this is the game right here. So, catch your X's round.
OG!
Your moves, Sir Action Flag.
All right. We got some other fans down here. Guys, I want to get more analytical. What do you think about that last series? I'm going down here. Hello. What do you think of the series?
No, okay, everything is perfect. I mean, this TI is awesome, really awesome. We're really excited to be here.
Where are you guys from?
Chile.
Chile! Wow! All the way from Chile. What kind of flight is that?
Well, kind of flag of this?
Not flag, I said flight. How long did it take you to get here?
Around 20 hours or something.
20 hours. Worth it?
Yeah, well, worth it.
Totally worth it, always.
I've known TI since like 2015. Yeah, so
Yes. All right, sir. I got a question for you. We got a Liquid fan here. Liquid lost that last game. Why do you think Liquid lost?
Well, okay. To me, Liquid's pick feels like, you know, like some sort of Ti3 LGD pick with so much mass control and everything. But OG just counters it perfectly with all of the mobility heroes such as Amber Spirit and Grimstroke and Monkey King and everything.
Quite an analytical answer. Myself, I would have said it a little bit faster. For me, I would have said that they failed to ban Anna. Oh. I've been holding on for this for 2 weeks, and that's for you. Now eat it.
Oh, well.
No, I'm just kidding. Don't do that. Don't eat it. All right. Anyway, hey, let him keep his banana. That's treasure. He can sell that for a lot of money. Guys, we're having a lot of fun in the audience. We hope you guys are too, and we hope our panel is having a blast. Let's go!
Thank you. Thank you, Casey and Slack. We certainly are having a blast. And to be honest, the best moment is when the guy from Chile is like, what's that flight like? And he just had the flag ready. He thought it was, what's the flag like? It's like this. He just had it.
Yeah, he did. It's awesome, though. 20-hour flight. He's been to every TI since TI5, it sounds like, to that kind of commitment. That's why it's called the International, right? It's great.
Dedication definitely shows.
Yeah, I'm a bit afraid for my job after that last Liquid fan said
Was
all about the game. Yep.
Yeah, I actually saw.
I might get replaced
sorry,
actually
I
after
saw
this
them.
game.
They were waving you over, and you tried to look away.
He brought it back to TI3 with some LGD style. Like, he had the history in there too, gods.
I was impressed. Look.
All right, we're going to have a game 3 very soon. We already know that it's guaranteed, you know, no 3-game series. Not again, Liquid's not going to get a chance to repeat that one. I must say, though, in the game so far, OG has looked like the more dominant team.
Yeah, I would agree.
Fair to
with that.
say?
I would agree with that. Yeah, with the Spectre and everything, like they should have maybe won that late game. You know, a couple mistakes from both teams, though, right? That's the pressure building up. That's what makes Dota great. And well, we'll have to see if Liquid, they're going to have to draft. I agree with that. You can't just draft that much team fight and then go against low cooldowns. You just can't.
No, you really want to prepare for late game, though. I mean, that's, I guess, where that comes from, because OG is a scary team late game. You gotta walk a balance there. And that is, well, they're going to walk something, not a balance at the moment, but they're soon going to walk back into their pods. That's where they're walking towards. And it's going to be a very exciting game number 3. I feel like the roller coasters has already begun. I can't wait for the continuation of that one. Here they go. Team Liquid. Team Liquid only dropping 1 game on the main stage before these grand finals. Impressive to say the least. And then OG, the upper bracket champions, the team that looks most comfortable in these booths. I feel like we're talking a lot about mental warfare and just the pressure that comes with playing on a grand stage like this in front of the fans for millions of dollars. And you gotta wonder, you gotta ask yourself, is it just gonna come down to that, just to be the one that is more lucky go happy, which seems to be OG.
You see Seb and Notel walking out on the stage. That's the kind of friendship, you know, everyone wish they have. That is just the guy who's going to have the other guys back at all times. And OG, they really have mental fortitude.
They really do. And they had it already before going into this TI when Casey sat down with them.
Notel, Seb. Gosh, those names sound familiar. Why? Where do I feel like I've... You know what it is? I feel like this looks familiar next to you guys. Returning TI8 champions. Is it the same way that you left it?
Looks the same to me. Yeah. Maybe there's a few changes on the back. I hope there better be.
It's missing also a couple of people around it. Last time I saw it, it was like...
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
What is it like in the days and the months following TI when you've won versus when you've left something there? I mean, everybody we've talked to in this couch talks about that being the one thing they want to do and the ability to look back and wish they had done things differently. What is it like to not have that?
Life has been very relieving for me ever since. There's been that one thing that was there for a very long time that was no longer there in a way, like an underlying kind of pressure or question whether or not you're competent or you have the ability to do what you set yourself to do.
You dream about it, you wake up, you work towards that, you know, it's like your life is about that. Once you actually do it, it becomes harder to go for it because it's not as obvious. You have to, it has to come within yourself. Like you have to kind of craft it. You know, this fire, this motivation, and you know the people that are gonna go up against you, right? You know how bloodthirsty they are. Like nothing's gonna stop them. Nothing is stopping them. If you're on the way, well, you better get out of the way before it's too late.
What made you decide to handle Anna taking a break and a leave the way that you did, which was to be pretty open about what was going on? And also, you didn't seem that concerned about what that meant for your longevity as a team.
Dota asks for a lot of time. It asks for all your time, more or less. And if somebody doesn't want to spend their time doing something, well, everybody should have the freedom to do what they want. And yeah, we set ourselves this crazy goal of winning the international. So once that's achieved, what do you want to do? And then, well, a lot of us wanted to play right away. And Anna decided that he's not ready to play. Like, he, again, wanted to self-reflect, spend some time at home. And that was that.
And how meaningful is it to be able to come and play TI and play in front of a different audience with it being in Shanghai and in China for the first time?
There's so many things about this TI that are different from last year's. It's a new audience. We're a different team, probably. I mean, we grew. We're going to play against 17 different teams that are very good at the game. The Chinese audience I've always admired how the fervor, like they're going to root for the teams that they're going to decide to root for, and it's most likely going to be the Chinese teams. And they're one of the very few audience that also roots against the teams that are trying to defeat their favorites. And it's rough sometimes. It gets rough. I remember my first tournaments in China. Sometimes it was overwhelming. It was getting to me. I was like, wow, but they're actually chanting against me, or they're booing me, or it has happened. Not always, but it happens. It's part of it. It's competition, right? I mean, let's say we had a
так как они именно могут дальше навязывать свою игру.
Nice experience, and that doesn't mean winning. Some of the best games are still spent losing, and yeah, some people get caught up in that as well. Play for fun, have fun, enjoy it.
Thank you, guys.
Yeah, you're welcome.
You're welcome.
Тоже ферспик Рубик, а не Тайд. Тут тоже интересно.
Может, уже сейчас перестанут Тайда брать и возьмут какого-то другого героя. Вообще, я сейчас сидел, думал, и как бы мне... Нет, берут Тайда. Я думал, что может против такого стиля все же...
Grand Finals, Game 3.
It's Game 3, and these people got places to go, millions to win. Liquid and OG are already knee-deep in their draft. I'm joined by Pyjamas and Feby. Gentlemen, we are already into Game 3, and it's the exact same first phase bans as the previous game. Mag, AA, IO, banned by Liquid. Leshrac, Alchemist, Chen, banned by OG. And then Liquid scoop up a Rubik and a Tidehunter, and OG have a Enchantress and a Tiny.
Yes. This time around, OG is like, all right. You're giving us the Enchantress. Let's see if you can beat it. Yeah. And the Rubik, the first pick by Rubik, the Liquid, which is Rubik, I think it kind of blocked their potential Magnus strat from OG because OG loves that hero. So I think that's what that Rubik.
But they banned the Max.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I didn't steal that.
I forgive you, Feby.
I'm kidding. I'm thinking like maybe they try to ban for the Tidehunter maybe.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm feeling the Liquid draft is it's a bit awkward. It's this thing when you pick this Tide, right? Like it's a very high tier pick because I mean Ravage is always gonna just stun everyone. But in general, that hero struggles versus ENG. And he usually doesn't get a very good lane, so like Ti9 will deal a lot of damage to him.
He struggles because, what, the pure damage from impetus is too much, or...?
Oh, yeah, you just get chunked. Like, you can't lane versus him. Like, that's already a problem. Like, you can't put the Tide versus ENG, so that feels bad.
Yeah, so like 50% of the reason why Tide gets picked is because of the Ravage, and the other 50 for the tankiness, but Enchantress just removes the tanky part of the Tide. So,
right.
Yeah.
And generally, whatever lane Tide goes into, like, he starts with like 48 base damage or something, so it's just hard. It's just hard to do anything.
Yeah, and especially after the last game too, I was thinking if Liquid is going to repick these long ultimate cooldowns, because OG seems to be playing so fast. I guess like they like talked themselves over and kind of regrouped.
So you're saying that's a reason why the Enigma in the last game may not have been too great, because that black hole cooldown was a bit of a limiting factor for Liquid to be able to match that breakneck pace that OG were setting.
I don't know, normally like it would have been fine because OG had no tower hitter. They only had like heroes that could kill people, like Monkey King, Omni, Ember. They don't hit towers at all. So even if they group up, if Liquid doesn't react like 5 heroes, they're gonna lose out eventually, right?
Okay, I see.
Yeah, I think that game also just comes down to a lot like when you lose 3 lanes, it's just very hard to play.
Imagine that.
Yeah, exactly. And yeah, because they had counter like matchups. They see Omni-Knight, but they pick a Lifestealer, and like a hero doesn't.
Saw TA, they pick an Ember, even though it didn't end up laning that way, but still, they thought that they had these counters in mind.
Yeah, and you end up losing 3 lanes. You have an Enigma Tide, and you like your first couple of ultimates don't like kill them all. You're just, it's just trouble for you, man. It's just gonna be hard. So I hope Liquid now, like they really try to counter lanes. Like the difference here with the OG ENG this game and like the first game is, like what Liquid used to counter ENG, it's all banned out. Like the Shen is gone, the Meepo is gone. So I mean, I'm hoping they have
a backup.
They have something.
For sure.
I'm sure they do too, because
I'm not sure. Like this Tidehunter is very awkward. We'll see.
Yeah.
So then, why is Magnus continuing to be first phase banned then? Because like they haven't even, we saw Enchantress be exposed in game 1. You saw that you could beat it. You would know that OG would be like, all right, I'm gonna ban out the Meepo and the Chen because that's what beat my Enchantress. Liquid are still not willing to give up that Magnus. Why is that?
I'm not. I guess like they have more strats in mind for this ENG.
Okay.
That's what I'm guessing. Because I have like my personal feeling is that they should be able to play against the Magnus.
Right.
OG Magnus is especially annoying too because Zed plays it, not
Yeah.
the position 4. Usually when there's a Magnus, you can like fast tempo and like have such a huge advantage from the early mid game, but since offlaner plays it from OG, like it's pretty hard to do that.
So Liquid gonna pick up an Ogre Magi. Technically another possible way to deal with Enchantress. You can give your team attack speed with the Bloodlust and you have plenty of magic damage to try to burn through her HP pool, and since you don't have to deal with the Untouchable. And OG gonna pick up a Faceless Void.
And a Grimstroke that's amazing against Tide. Like these,
No, this is a very hard Tide game.
Yeah, it's gonna be a very hard Tide game.
No, Ogre is one of the few heroes that can actually like solo versus ENG for a long time. Like especially if you're really on point with last hits, like you can potentially win that lane. And even if you play it as a 5, like you're not really taking damage that much from her hitting you. So like you can sustain a long while. But eventually, like you're gonna get kicked out. So like I'm just waiting for this magic pick here that they're been preparing for.
So you're definitely leaning heavily OG so far.
I mean, I want to see this because this is supposed to be Liquid's strongest pick right now. But yeah, I'm feeling like this Tide is very awkward. Like OG, they were very ready for this Tidehunter. Yeah.
No real surprise here. Liquid go back to the Templar Assassin. And to be fair, the loss in the previous game was her first loss on the main stage.
Yeah.
So it's not like the hero is bad by any means, but Liquid are definitely kind of running the same playbook over and over again for Weehaw, which, you know, people had a lot of critiques for Epicenter. They just kept giving Weehaw win range, and you're like, what are you going to do about it? But they kept winning.
I mean, they didn't win the finals, though, did they?
That's true.
No,
this is the finals of TI also.
Yeah, because I wanted to say, like, I hope Liquid, like, really relax with this Templar Assassin now. Like, either pick it super late or don't pick it at all. Because a lot of... I'm guessing they're going to ban Monkey King now, so, like, they don't have to deal with that. But, because that hero, it's not the same hero. Like, before she used to win the lanes, and then, like, farming... Like, you're more okay with farming. If you lose the lane and then you go to farm jungle, like, versus a team like OG, that can be rough.
And it's not like Liquid have any particularly strong roamers to help her accelerate that lane that quickly. Ogre Magi most likely going to be played in a core role, and Rubik, you know, telekinesis cooldown is way too much to expect to get any ganks on the mid lane.
It should be a Tide 3 and
Yeah, probably Ogre 5.
Oh, okay, okay.
No, because I'm thinking OG will switch this Tiny to a 4 now. I don't think that's one of Tiny's probably worst matchups met TA. Like in how they how Thompson wants to play,
right?
Because he wants to run in the he just wants to run on the other side, and he's just running in traps.
What's a good Thompson hero other than Monkey King? Because for sure it has to be banned.
Yeah.
Maybe Pogna?
No, I'm curious to see it. I mean, he might just play the Tiny again. They did win that game before. No, I mean, actually they lost the game. They could have won that game, the first game, where it was Tiny versus Temple.
I think like this Tiny Void combo, Tiny has to be played on like carry or mid.
Yeah, it does help a lot.
Yeah. Because like the Aghanim Data Blitz is so great game breaking. It can't be played on off lane.
Even Liquid are baffled, burning a lot of their reserve time for this final ban. They really want to protect this Templar Assassin.
I really want to see what Liquid are thinking too.
I think they're talking about like if the monkey is worth banning or not.
Yeah.
Because Tiny offlane or Enchantress offlane, I think they're saying they can deal with it.
Bruh. Okay. They finally got the Monkey King. A lot of deliberation for that one. Now they got 30 seconds to pick a Juggernaut.
Okay. It's all right. Like he'll be bloodlusted, he'll get a lot of last hits. Eventually though, you will get kicked out by this Ansh, I believe. I mean, it's not the dream pick, but it's playable.
And I guess against this Faceless Void, you may not have to be too concerned about your healing ward getting killed.
Yeah. No, it's a decent healing ward. I mean, Ansh can be annoying. She buys a lot of like...
ranged items.
Yeah, Liquid can definitely stop it.
Okay, there we go. You call it, right?
Yeah, I call it.
You call it. You call it.
That'd be called it.
It's really great with Grimstroke. The other team cannot hit the Phantom's, what is it? Phantom's Embrace?
Yeah, if you decrepify the unit, then you just literally can't hit it off. And another reason why Grimstroke was likely picked is because it's a silence that can't get purged off by Kraken Shell.
Yeah.
You put that on the Tidehunter.
No, this is the nightmare Tidehunter game. Like, if he just gets to Arcane Boots Blink or like Face Boots Blink,
you'll be impressed.
No, but that's all he has to do. Like, don't expect anything more from this Tidehunter.
I mean, yeah, he might not feed as much as last game, but his impact is probably going to be minimal.
All right then, gentlemen, I appreciate the thoughts, but I want to hear one last thought, and it's going to come from Purge with the last word.
Winning Grand Finals is a really tough task at TI, and it's also because you have to change your strategy partway through the Grand Finals as the heroes you get comfortable with get banned out. Liquid has been really doing a great job with TA. It's a hero that they haven't picked a huge amount in the past, at least recently, but during the last stages of this tournament, it's been really effective. But in last game, OG showed that they had a great counter with Ember Spirit, having Tiny on support, and other things like that made things really effective. And now OG gets to go back to their regular comfort heroes. They've got Enchantress, they've got the Tiny Void combo, having Grimstroke as the support for Pugna, or for No-Tail hasn't really been contested, but still accomplishes what they need. And on the other side, Liquid grabbing Jug, that should give them a strong laning stage and the ability to kill Enchantress because they can do lots of magic damage. On top of that, they still get Rubik, they still get Tide, and they have the TA, so they can fall back on it. But we'll see if they can still win with the TA either way, despite the enemy picks. With that said, let's throw it over to the casters for game number 3.
Thanks, Purge. Game 3 ready to go between OG and Liquid. Series stands 1-1 at the moment. We're seeing some similarities in the drafts, as well as, of course, some little changes and alterations. But still, the biggest thing that I want to talk about, Fog, is Liquid. They're believing in some of the heroes that really did struggle last game. They're sticking with like these Tidehunters, these TAs. Do you like that, or does that sort of maybe scare you a bit in the sense that are Liquid running out of options?
I would be a little scared, right? Like, you have to look at this, and they've literally picked Templar Assassin in all the games. And OG, they have to know this is coming. They have heroes that they've been preparing for it, preparing versus one. We saw it, how hard they were able to play last game and how fast that pace they were trying to set. That's the one thing that I saw Liquid, they do back away from this game though, right? They didn't go for all greed. They have a Juggernaut who can fight early. They have the Ogre Magi who's a stronger 5 position. And then they have this Rubik that can also make plays around the map. GH, he tried his heart out in the last game as an Enigma, but it is an Enigma. So you're gonna be slower paced because you have to play around your cooldowns. So at least they've addressed that a little bit here on the side of Liquid, but still do have to be a concern for sure, Seb.
Go for a bit of a poke on him, but OG, they have the numbers there. Just going to turn around, look to body block up Miracle. Miracle holding onto the Blade Fury for now. Now Pops Pip, just before the toss comes into play. And we'll get him back underneath the tower. But overall, definitely some things for Liquid to be scared about in the draft. You saw as well, they had to kind of pick their poison right. They had the TA. It was, well, are we gonna lane against a Monkey King from Topson or a Pugna? They opt for the Monkey King ban, but does mean that the Topson Pugna will be there to cause some havoc with the TA in the mid lane. That Decrepify in the laning stage each wave is not going to be fun for WeHard to deal with.
No, it allows you to secure pretty much almost not all the range creep denies, but you get a lot of those range creeps. Ana will be able to get himself that ruin.
I'm going to try and abuse the fact that he hasn't got that time warp for quite a long time. In 15 seconds.
He'll be fine.
He's able to get back.
Yeah, takes a lot of damage, but No-Tail, same build as last game. He has the Clarities as well as, or the Tangos as well as the Salve. He will salve that one up, and there's 2 bounties left.
There is, yeah, Liquid will be able to claim theirs up top, but you will imagine that that bottom one will eventually be picked up by OG, so overall getting the 3 of the 4 to start this game off with.
See how these mid creeps, Topson will be able to get the 1-for-1, so he gets that range creep deny as well as securing his range creep. And as well gonna get maybe another 2 denies as well. Oh my god, 3 denies on the first wave there, and he sprays the loser, of course.
Definitely going to be a lane where we are going to have to keep our eyes on, as we could seriously see Topson break ahead significantly of the CS of WeHard's TN.
And a very interesting starting item. I don't think I've ever seen that. It's a crown.
I like it.
In the mid lane, right?
Was it sort of built towards eventually getting what, a Rod of Atos, do you think?
Veil?
Veil? No, Veil, right.
I think Veil is really nice because it gives you that armor that you're lacking as a Pugna when you're playing versus TA.
Yep, very nice work with your teammates. Yep. The Tiny, the Grimstrokes, a lot of magical to offer when you start making those moves that we know that OG's going to want to do after seeing how they played in game 2.
Yeah, I mean, it works well with everybody except for the Enchantress, right? Even Void, your time lock is magical. Sure, that's a very slight, but every little type of application.
He's going to have levels in it, so it's going to hurt.
Topson just waiting to try to get all these range. 5 and 6 to the 2-1 of WeHard right now.
It's just, I mean, as we're bottom lane.
Kuroko's tanking the, yeah, he's
should be fine. Just doing his job here, trying to make sure that the pressure isn't applied to Miracle.
Yep. I'm mostly gonna be looking at mid, just because I'll be keeping tabs of those range creep denies for us. As the side lanes, we'll be able to get a decent amount of farm on both of those carries on Liquid and OG. But this, the more important thing is that my control is not getting super shut down in this one up top. Unlike the last game where it was just chain deaths for him. From the start of the lane, from pretty much level 1, he died back to back to back.
Obviously, WeHard be able to get the 2-minute rune. Not really one that's going to help him in the lane, though. Just an invis, not the DD or the illusion that could have maybe helped him get a bit of a catch-up in this matchup. It's Topson just continuing to keep the edge, as this hero matchup is very, very painful to play in the lane for the TA.
Yeah, WeHard just has to be careful how he even controls his side blades. He just keeps getting all these denies built up onto him there. He'll secure himself one of those range creeps now, but yeah, 8 denies on the Pugna. But bottom we see Seb. He's not able to get the most down here, but he's still putting pressure on. He's got 7 last hits, but look how low he's got Miracle. Actually forcing the salve, and Kuroki has no regen left either. So no regen on either of them. We see also he's gone for the point in the enchant this game in the laning phase because you're playing versus Bloodlust. You can be able to dispel that one quite easily, and if he gets an option of a decent creep, of course.
I mean, in this lane, is there a chance that Seb can get caught out by a Blade Fury play, or most of the time will Seb just have the heals to stay alive?
He should have more than enough health and more than enough healing. Like the Blade Fury, it's a decent amount of damage if you have enough stuns, but it's just 1 stun from the Fire Blast, which means he's going to be able to get his heal and a Fairy Fire off. So once that heal kicks in, the spin's not enough damage.
Seeing top lane, and able to match the free farm of Miracle down bottom. Both carries getting a good start in their safe lanes.
A couple more denies on Ana. He's already actually used an early courier too. I think Topson made the call. He's like, I don't really need the courier too early on, and you guys could bring you some regen top, and they did. They brought Tangos and Clarities, and we will see. Helm Vine will picked up. He's going straight for that Veil on the Pugna. I mean, it's going to be crazy early how he gets it, because he started with this crown. Very cool approach here coming out from Topson. And look how tanky he is too. 9 armor. When he's next to his tower, he's sitting at 12. So that harassment from WeHard will not be as significant.
Seeing WeHard trying is sort of the best approach he can against the Pugna. Every time the Decrepify is being used to try and close the gap, gets on top of Topson, forcing Topson to sort of stray a little bit back from the creeps. Pressure's on top for GH. Look at those bashes. Stroke won't hit, so GH will be fine to walk off. Mind control, turning and beating down onto Notel. In return, it's Notel will have to keep his distance. Will be able to do so. Mind control, of course, getting good farm up top.
Breaks this out with the gush there.
Mid lane though, has been caught out by a bit of a move from Jerax. He's trying to switch the Mango in to go for a Mango refraction play, but that 6 seconds far too long. Jerax setting up for Topson in mid and making sure that that mid lane continues to be a nasty place for the Weehawk TA to be.
Bounty Rune's going to be spawning as well. Jerax going to try to at least claim one for his team here. We'll be able to get one, Miracle will be able to get the other one as top.
And Mind Control's able to get behind the tower and get Notes out. Push them away, GH.
Oh, he kills it.
He knows that Anna's got the time warp. Doesn't want to let Anna have the chance of going for it. Does mean that Anna has the time warp to try and turn and chase towards GH. And another gush from Mind Control will be there though. Slows Anna down and GH will be able to walk out alive.
This is where Jerax now. This is a really important play here. If he can get this set up and kill Weehaw in the mid lane, Weehaw's actually already getting turned with the Veil. Is it enough? Ooh, he's very close. Jerax is already running over.
Weehaw.
He just used the TP to come back mid.
He's going for the walk back.
Jerax knows. There's no shrine available top either. It was used already by the side of Liquid.
He's just going to try and get a little bit out of the jungle whilst he has the mana to play around with Refraction and Meld.
There's a glyph available though. Topson and Jerax are set up. There's a glyph and it's the 5-minute siege wave. So Topson, he's going to look to just take this mid tower here. GH showing up to try to pull the creep aggro. We'll only get the one creep aggro though for now. So this tower, they will be forced to pop glyph to
They can
defend
turn
it.
towards GH. Jerax is down the high ground. Veil's going to be out onto GH. Avalanche for Jerax is to try and close the gap to Crepify into the life drain. He just gets slowly drained down and out. He'll turn with the stick charge and a Fade Bolt. But GH's fate is sealed. It's Topson.
Jerax is still in the area. He has a toss back.
Topson.
He has a dust too, so he's waiting.
Yeah.
Thought maybe he melded there.
And keeping Weehawk away from the lane, away from any chance of finding farm.
I love this going for this Veil build on Topson. It's super clever being able to get it so early on. It's just applying so much extra pressure that you normally would not be able to do as a Pugna.
You see, but still Jerax just
toyed with it.
Stopping Weehawk from getting close. It's going to take a bit of damage. We'll toss Weehawk back into the Ancients. Avalanche as well, and with the Black Dragons beating down on Weehawk, Jerax is able to trade a good bit of damage.
Might go down here though. GH is walking over, but in the meantime, Ana and Notel up top are able to get the kill on Mike.
Jerax is going to go for the TP in that spot. They do not see him. Telekinesis was still unavailable, so they wouldn't have been able to catch him anyway. OG, this mid lane tier 1 tower, they're pushing it down. Topson's able to play such a fast pace. This Pugna versus TA matchup that he loves for them.
Oh my goodness. The neutral creeps actually turned onto him while he was getting impetus. He almost died farming that hard camp.
Well, Topson, he's dragged under the tower, pops and loses the spray out, TP's out of there. Continuing to toy with Liquid, drawing the attention of 4 members of Liquid towards that mid lane. They don't get him. He's out to safety.
And now Miracle, who he's been having a pretty decent time in that bottom lane, 40 and 6. Enchantress has hit 6. We know what happens when Enchantress hits 6. You get forced out of lane. It's exactly what's happened now to Miracle. He's pushed to the jungle for the time being. He's gonna farm maybe under the tower here. Miracle camping here. He's pinging it out. He wants someone to rotate because he has the Omni.
He's feeling that there could be a chance to find some action mid lane. Decrepified setups there. Jerax is prepared with the dust. Weehawk cannot hide in the shadows. They see him every time and the tower goes down. 8 minutes in. Top lane Mind Control getting bashed up by Ana and Notel. Should have another time walk available in a second. Seb running himself away from Kura again into the trees. Gets the heal up, but the Omni Slash from Miracle will secure the kill down bottom. At the same time up top, they find eventually Mind Control's ties as they continue the chase. An off-laner for an off-laner.
And they're spamming the taunts because Miracle, he really wanted to hold on to Omni Slash there. He tried to just get the kill with the spin, but it was not enough damage. They're forced to actually throw the Omni Slash to bring down Seb.
And Topson is just able to pull so much attention towards this mid lane now.
Yeah.
He's feeling strong and confident with the brown boots, Windlace and Veil. He can run around and just be such a nuisance.
And the draft panel mentioned how hard of a Tide Hunter game it was going to be. Mike controlled a decent start, but now he is completely shut down as mid.
Get the ink spot stun onto Weehawk. GH is there to help out. Another blast. Mind control heading over. He's only level 4 on the Tide at this point.
I think they thought he was higher level than that. No-Tail throws the silence on him, but it's only level 4 Tide.
And they're going to live train him down. Slows there with a stroke of fate. Will be able to crack his shell off, but Jax with pixel perfect body blocking there. Oh, I say that. Miracle's going to come in with a Blade Fury. They punish Jax for it. They do lose mind control. Support for an off lane. And you're just seeing Liquid, they're having to bring the whole team to mid lane to deal with the shenanigans of this Pugna.
And immediately Miracle's now going to start getting pressured again too. He's even going to dig in front. He just dug in front of him. They're having way too much fun.
He's feeling it, Thompson.
They have Ana free farming top, right? This is a Treads into Midas Void, who has pushed the Tide under completely out of lane. And like we said, mind control. He's 1 and 3
the
in this game
Phantom
again.
Embrace, and it's such a nasty combo to crepify Phantom Embrace. There is no counter.
There is no counter.
There is no counter.
Well, until later. Then maybe when they get BKBs or something. But yeah.
Oh.
Thompson.
Hey, they may have dove a little too far this time. They surround him. Thompson will fall finally. They're able to get that spooky little skeleton boy out of their half of the map.
But
kill him off.
Look at where it's happening. He forces everybody to go from there, and that just solidifies OG to get more bounty winners. It hurts because they lose their core, but in a net worth advantage, that actually favors OG.
Oh, it's a 4K lead at 10 minutes in for OG.
And we talked about Midas's. Midas Void coming out soon. Midas Enchantress is already finished, and they're just looking around to keep the pressure going. Mind control, 1 and 3 in the game again, and his game is not going to get easier.
He's got an inventory. He TP's up top. He's going to look for the setup, the toss back. Mind control still has not got that 6 in the Ravage. GH has got his own level 6. Jax is going to look to set up one of him instead. They'll throw it back into the Chrono, catching the 2 of them. OG, they just can't help themselves. They can't stop making plays.
You can just tell how much fun they're having in the game. Spamming the chat wheel, spamming the losers, running around, making kills happen, and not stopping. Again, Thompson is what we saw them doing in the last game too. Just looking around, running around. Where's Weehaw is the question. That's who they want, as they know he's just going to back up in jungle. This is getting pretty out of control already, a 5K advantage. They're finding Miracle. Thompson is going to get stunned up.
And Miracle, he's got the Blade Fury and the Omni Slash to play around with. Soulbind's going to lock the 2 of them down together as No-Tail's looking to turn, moves in with the silence. The both dead. The Ravage comes out, but they've already lost the 2 of them. They'll get No-Tail in response. But now OG, they can turn and collapse onto mind control, surrounding the Tide. Garrix and Thompson, Seb, they're not going to stop chasing this. A trap slow will come out, it doesn't matter. Thompson, another decrepify blast, secures him the triple kill.
He's going for another.
They're not done yet, OGGH. He's got the stolen ink swell, they'll keep their distance. Jarix closes the gap. GH is enchanted, taken out. Ultra kill for Thompson, 11 minutes in. There is nothing that can stop this man.
This is just getting so out of control. Look at the net worths. They almost have 4 of the 5 top net worths in the game. Miracle has no place to go in the game. He's running around trying to salvage the problems that are happening absolutely everywhere in the game because he's level 7 as Jug. But look at this hero damage. It's 12 minutes in and he has 10,000 hero damage.
Absolutely. You know, this is just numbers that are unheard of this early on in the game. The Thompson Pugna, I mean, they took their chances, right, as we said in the draft. They
pick your poison.
But ban the Monkey King. The Thompson Pugna was always going to be left in. They've got to kill him. They've got to do something about it. They'll surround him. They've got the Blade Fury. They have got the stun. Thompson falling low. Put the stick charge. Tries to stab with the life driver. They kill him off. Big kill here for Liquid. Can they get more? The rest of OG have turned up. They'll focus down Miracle. Ana is coming in with the wraparound, and Ana, he's nearly got the Chronosphere back online. Liquid have to be a little careful how they approach this. Jarix forcing Weehaw away from the rest of his team. Miracle, he's trying to run. Chrono's going to be back up in 5 seconds. Quick tread switch and a time walk forward from Ana allows him to close the gap. If he wants to pop the Chrono for this, he will. There's 3 heroes. He's thinking about it. The Shrine has been used. They're healing up. Ana trying to find the perfect angle. No-Tail's coming in with the wraparound. Mind control's back in. No Ravage though. Toss over, keeping them bunched together. Ana, he's still trying to see if he can find that perfect opportunity. He may not even need it. The Phantom Embrace. It's on mind control. The output of the damage from Seb's impetus is too much for mind control to withstand. There's the catch. They'll get Miracle separated. He's shot down. He's silenced up. He did get the Blade Fury off, but the Soul Mind control with the impetus is far too much for him to deal with. As OG,
oh my god, they keep looking for more.
They're just giving us the repeat of game 2.
In the same exact area, at the same exact time too. It's like 12 minutes in, 10 heroes gathered around the Ancients areas. Weehaw's like, okay, well I can't really fight this. I have to find my own time. Weehaw's actually gonna go for a Blink Dagger to try to match and be able to fight and be able to respond to OG's aggression.
Look at the drag. Onto Jarex with that telekinesis, but again, OG, they just have the numbers here. Liquid are not ready to take these fights.
This is just an absolute dismantling coming up from OG. They're not giving them any room at all. And it's not this time like they have all these long duration ultimates. They're just punishing them for everything. The Jug pick, he's not really farming at all. Weehaw either. Everybody on the side of OG is farming perfectly fine. And they have Midases.
I mean, he walks into lane. He nearly dies immediately to the combo.
Jarex
Two
did
the control on Thompson. Again, the surrounded with a 4-line avalanche for Jarex. Takes him out. Mind control, causes the ravage. Have they got the damage to finish these two off? Thompson's still alive. He's able to back off, and now again, the rest of OG's turned up. Seps in the neighborhood. Toss over for Jarex. Kuro and GH being focused. The Ink Swell on Jarex. Does it hit Kuro? It doesn't matter. No tail has the stroke of fate, and it's enough alone. As it's now a 10k lead, 3 dead on Liquid, so again, OG will be able to reset, get those bounty runes if they want. They may just keep the pressure on Ana. Down bottom, he's trying to go head-to-head with Weehaw. It's the one bash.
There's more support coming in though. Jarex as well as No-Tail are in the area. Weehaw will get spooked and pushed back.
And look at that, just
it's a 10,000 gold lead. The experience is even 10,000. What are they? Look at these hero levels. Thompson 13, Seb 12, Weehaw's 11, but then look at this, it's all of OG at the top of the board there with the levels, with the gold, with everything. So far in this game, they are just dictating the pace and giving no room to Liquid. All the moves are on their side of the map. Liquid, even if they do get some kills, it's all the way pushed back on their side already.
And you really just have to admire this sort of domination. This isn't some sort of slow-paced farming beatdown. It's not this 5-man push. It's just the want to fight, the coordination from OG, the team play, and the lineup that they have is working so beautifully against Liquid in Game 3, just as it did in Game 2. And it's leaving Liquid no chance to really turn things around. He's got the Blink Dagger. But going for that Blink first means that he doesn't have sort of that damage out, but the fight is being brought to him. And with the Blink, if he turns and hits, he's not going to hit hard enough.
I think he's trying to, just like I was saying before, he's trying to make up for the fact that they have nobody else who can really match this fighting pace of OG, but it's a TA into a tough draft that he's against. They expect this Templar Assassin to be coming out, and they've been countering it time and time again, and all these heroes just deal with it incredibly well.
I mean, sorry, who do you go on as this TA? There's an Untouchable Enchantress, there's a Pugna with Decrepify, there's a Void with Time Walk, there's Phantom Embraces, they just have all the answers, OG.
And OG's, look, Ana is pushing bottom by himself, while in the mid lane, they're taking that tower as well. Weehaw is jungling the enemy jungle. This has gotten completely out of hand. OG just, it looks like they have Liquid's notebook and they're just looking through it. They're like, oh, this is where they're going to be next. This is what they're going to do next. They just have a perfect read of what Liquid's trying to do in the game.
Blink Dagger and Thompson now on top of her. Of course, it's already very stacked Titan build of Veil and Ether Lens.
They might just go
17 minutes in.
Thompson's just going to start poking high ground. He's got an Arcane Rune with his Nether Blasts. He's got the Aether Lens, yeah, like you said. And yeah, tier 3 is going to start getting poked 17 minutes. We are nearly approaching a 1,000 gold per minute lead too for the side of OG with this type of draft.
And Liquid, they're going to try their best to push this away. OG, they have Chronosphere.
Liquid's wrapping around. They've got a smoke. They've got the Ravage. Can they catch OG here? Jarex is the one standing up toward the front lines, waiting to see if something does happen. Tower's already dead. They're already working on their axes.
And if Liquid's gonna make a move, they're gonna make it soon, but they're not gonna get the chance to. Jarex jumps in on top of Mind Control. Phantom Embrace upon him. No chance for a Ravage, but he's back immediately.
They know the only way that they can get caught is if it's from a wraparound. Jarex just waiting there in position. They even have an Ops. They even put down a Sentry to take out Liquid's vision too. Liquid has no vision of these backlines now.
They're taking the racks. Absolutely perfect. 18 minutes in.
My God. This is unbelievable.
2 games in a row, but OG is just giving us the showcase of their lifetime.
It's been like 6 or 7 minutes since Liquid has been able to even find a kill. It's been GH just out of it. GH has been the one getting them, but it's not even these big ones because, like we said, they can't even get aggressive onto the map at all. as Seb just continues to stand in the base. He's a bit far forward here.
Look at the multicast. Anna's going to come in with a backup. They decrepify, keeping Seb safe. They'll pop the Ravage. They're trying to get on top of at least someone. They'll find NoTail. Anna's surrounded. He still has the chrono. He gets the three of them. Thompson's able to turn with the life drain. Miracle's there. Mind control tossed back into the chrono, making it a beautiful format. Double kill for Thompson. He'll start to run them down one by one, pushing Liquid back towards the fountain. Mind control. It's a dieback effectively. No buyback available. Still on cooldown for 6 minutes.
They're just playing on a totally another level right now. The way they're taking the fights, even the little things. The Omni Slash comes out on the Enchantress, Ana jumps into tanks it, and then pulls the Omni Slash into his team. So Miracle gets put in a really awkward position, gets caught in the chrono, and like you said too, the toss into the chrono. I've seen them do this like 4 times in the last game, or in this last game already. And Thompson just continuing to reign supreme in the game, just constantly looking for these aggressive plays.
Ooh, quick blink out from Weeha will mean that he won't die this time. But can they come back in this game? Liquid down 15k net worth, down a full set of racks before the 20-minute mark. 25-8 in favor of OG.
16,000 gold lead. They're going to get themselves at least 3 bounties, over 10,000 experience lead, and that Dota Plus does say the 99% right now. So only a 1% right now for Liquid. It does feel like that as well. As
they get the play off in time. Ana!
They actually get it
down. Weeha's able to get in with a blink meld. Can they get more out of this? NoTail will pick up the rune, has Thompson by his side, but Liquid they're chasing. They'll look to move on to the high ground turnarounds there. Jarek's in with the combo, the healing ward is not enough to keep Miracle alive. Miracle's dead for over a minute as OG. They can now go back to chasing for more. GH tries for the TP out, Seb finds him, doesn't get enough damage in time. GH will escape, Decrepify's there. Liquid, they do get in, take down a second as they'll find NoTail with a toss back. Avalanche for Jarek, catches the 2 of them. He's got the invis, they don't have detection. They've got AoE.
He's got the blink up soon with the refraction.
They will let him be. He's going to be able to blink, or is he? He's not going to be able to blink. He's not going to be able to blink. Thompson.
The ward is down. He pops refraction. He gets hit by the damage. He can't actually blink. Gets put back on the cooldown immediately. My God, these fights. I mean,
look at the Thompson. 17-2 and 7.
17-2 and 7.
He's making this look like the easiest game of his life. He really is.
He really is. It's hard to even like point out all the other things, like how well Jarax is playing as well in this game. Just always being in the right place, getting these incredible toss combos. Because Thompson, like you said, has 17 kills at the 21-minute mark.
He's been involved in 24 of the 28. Thompson, he really is. He's the mid that everybody wants on their team. This is the pinnacle of the Dota 2 mid player.
Especially for the carry player. Any carry looks at this and they're like, wow, I wish my mid player would go around killing everybody every 5 seconds. It's looking pretty out of control here as it's a 19,000 gold lead and they just keep this aggression. Liquid just can't even get their lanes pushed out in this game. All stacked up outside the base. OG keeping them trapped inside of there. But they have everything ready. They have all their tools available to fight.
They've got a rod of Atos on Seb now as well. Find control, find the jump in with the Ravage. Weeha's in as well. Do they have the damage out in time? They do. They kill on Thompson. There's a lot of money going the way of Kuroki though. Can they get more out of this Omni Slash bouncing around Jarek? A buyback comes out for Thompson. He wants to rejoin the fight. As OG turns, they'll get one. There's the setup again. Ana with a 3-man chrono catches them all. Double kill for Ana. The toss up disable, taking down Miracle. The Phantom embraces on Kuro. They'll chase him up to the base. Triple kill for Ana. 2 buybacks to come out from Liquid. But no Tide or Juggernaut available to offer their services for this defense.
And they've already used everything. The Tidehunter Ravage, Jug Omni. I actually think Mind Control may have sold some of his items just to be able to purchase that Blink Dagger for the fight. And even then, they can't even come close to coming out ahead of it.
I mean, they got Thompson.
They got him, but he's back.
That was it. They'll get another jump in. Mind Control trying to commit. Jarek just turns with the toss avalanche combo. Mind Control out of the game once more. Weeha's trying to jump in, find at least Thompson, but he's not going to get it. OG surround him, outnumber them, a toss up, back to the grave. GH is dead, GG is called. OG take game 3, and dare I say it, even in a more devastating fashion than game 2. It didn't look like it could get any worse for Liquid after that second game, but I think it just did.
I think they have to find a different type of draft. I don't think the Tidehunter plus the Templar Assassin can work when you're playing versus OG. They seem to just know exactly what they want to do versus it. With this Grimstroke, even with this Pugna, even with the Enchantress as well, I think you have to find something else for Liquid here. Otherwise, we could just have another replay in the next one. OG just seem to know exactly how they want to play around this. They end the game with a 1,000 gold per minute advantage over Team Liquid in the grand finals of TI. They have a 23,000 gold lead. Let's look at some damage numbers too. Like you said, Topson was involved in 28 of their kills.
17, 3, and 11, Topson.
He just had this explosive performance. This was unbelievable.
And as you say, to do this in the grand finals, to do it twice, game 2, game 3, are they going to be able to do it in fourth game? If they do, they will secure themselves that championship title. 1 game away, OG right now. Liquid, they've got to change things up entirely as the series stands at the moment 2-1 to OG.
Thank you so much, ODPixel and Fogged. And you know what? I got a message during the first game of the finals. You know, love the panel, all that. But could you talk a little bit more about Topson? Because I love Topson, big fan, and I feel like he's got to be talked about more. You got your wish, because that man is absolutely outstanding at the moment in his second grand finals of his second TI. How is that even possible? We have Jack on the panel as well. Jack, how is that possible?
I wish any of us had an answer to that question. I think it's, speaking of improbable stories for this game and where that's happened, this guy literally just, he's a pub star. He comes in, his first tournament, he wins a TI. He's about to be the first person to repeat. If things continue to go well, like they're going to break another curse this year, I guess. Not the repeat, but not the alternating region, but the repeat. It's incredible.
And like you just watch him middle, right? Like he wins the lane, and then he has like this. Why is he dying like that? He always has that one death, and then you look elsewhere. You look on the net worth chart. He's still 1,000 up. You see the rest of his team just farming. He's just doing everything he has to do, and that's what you need out of a mid player.
He played amazing. OG are 1 game away from being TI champions. And the way they're playing Dota is absolutely beautiful. It is so exciting and fun to watch. These guys are an incredible team.
Beautiful. I was thinking disgusting because it is like in the best way possible.
Okay.
You swap, they're just running at you. They're behind your tier 3 towers when every single tier 1 is up. Yeah. How is that possible?
It's beautifully disgusting. We'll go with that. We'll combine the two.
I must say though, I think for any newcomer watching the internationals, like, oh, let's see what this $34 million tournament's all about. You come in, you watch a game like that, and you're like, wow, what's with all these tips? What's with all these channels? What is going on in the minds of these players? And there's this thing called mental warfare, and I have a guy that can tell you all about that. It is Trent.
Hello.
Hello.
Thank you, panel, for having me. Yes, mental warfare. It's very important to Dota these days, and as God said this morning, OG, they play Dota like an art. These other teams, Liquid, LGD, more of a science thing there, and I thought art. And I went to Seb because he's so good looking. And I thought French art, and I thought Monet, is that what it's like? French impressions, connecting the human condition to landscape. And I thought, no, it's incorrect. We're in Shanghai. It's Sun Tzu, the art of war. That is OG Dota. So we have some clips here so you guys can all try and learn how you can be like OG Dota. So first off, we began in the dark ages of mental warfare. That was when there was nothing but all chat. Ugh. It was a terrible time. It got tired, it got old, but then Valve, they saved us because they introduced the taunt. The taunt. Not taunting through chat, but through actual actions here, as you can see from the Spirit Breaker doing 360s and snorting his way out of the fountain by Jerax. Truly masterful. I mean, that is a real way to elevate the game of mental warfare. Yes. Moving on. We had a problem, as you guys have seen, the tips. What are these things popping up all over the screen? Well, what happens is, if you commit this amazing play, you tip the enemy player. Maybe you tip your teammate. Maybe they're really slaying at this game. Maybe you're going to use that chat wheel that Valve also brought in there. But some of the teams figured out, wait, you can mute that? They can take it off the screen. OG, coming into TI with every team muting them, they had to adapt. And every team did adapt here. So this time, we're working with Team Secret here. Now you can see, what's that little spray? Well, I'm sure it'll become clear in a second, but Zai is actually invis here on the Magnus. He pre-sprays the ground before popping the old skewer there on the Ninja Boogie for the kill. I mean, that is some top-tier mental warfare. You don't come back from that. Sure, you're going to respawn. You're going to be there in the game, But the player behind the keyboard, he's long gone. He's out of that one. Now, the other use of the spray, of course, is to try and control your opponent. To try and control your opponent. And as you can see, runs into some OG sprays. He's like, nah, I can't handle this. Just goes the other way. Now, more sprays. OG, EG. This perhaps the best use of a spray the entire tournament. Fly, Jerax, he gives him the spray. Where are you going? That's not the way to safety. I don't know what you're trying to do here. Ring around the rosy, all the way back. Jerax gives him the womp. He falls and dies upon the very spray he just planted. Oh, that's gross. And then even now, in the game you just watched, you have a loser spray down and a dig right on top. Thompson, he just keeps on winning, gets a player card back, and, well, they've also evolved past the spray. Of course, OG, you may have noticed, they've been changing their banners, profile pictures, top-tier stuff here, depending on their opponent. And versus EG, there was no choice but the famous no-tail face before a lovely block there from Jerax. Truly the master of the Art of War. You're welcome.
Wow.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for that, Trent, because it is something else watching OG play, and then now we know how we can be more like OG. I think the tipping is still gonna exist after Battle Pass, but you're gonna need to have Dota Plus.
And don't forget, another wise man once said.
Yeah.
You know, sure, some of these teams had a rough year. It's true. But it does not matter how slow you go, as long as you do not stop. Thank you.
Wow.
Thank you.
Who said that? Oh, now I'm curious.
I feel like I just leveled
All
up,
kinds of questions
Dude,
now.
I am ready to go into some pubs, and I'm ready to taunt some opponents and make them feel bad. Thank you, Trent.
I guess that's what Dota is all about. You know, you try to punish your opponent in lane, make him not get any last hits, just annoy them until they're out of the game. Dota 2, everybody.
It's great.
Hey, let's talk about that game 3 we just witnessed, though, because OG is on the verge of being back-to-back international champions, and I can't believe that I'm saying that. That alone is already crazy, but also, Grant, the way that they're doing it.
It's the exact same as last year. They're pretty much picking the same heroes, and they're running at you. And you think about it, it's like, oh, why don't they just match the aggression? They're diving tier 3s at 10 minutes. What heroes, besides the one they're playing, can actually do that? I will say Liquid probably needs to avoid the Tide Hunter. I think that hero, we just saw it, mind control, bottom 3 net worth both games in a row, and that's rough. You can't be putting him on that. That has to hurt the confidence.
And it's a hero that takes up a decent amount of farm. You can't really play Tide without at least a team fight item or two, and OG's running them before they have farm. He is that pure mid player that Liquid wanted, but he's also a guy who wants to hit some creeps. He's playing TA most of these games, and that's a hero that wants to go back to the jungle, farm it up, and I think Liquid style is just too greedy. They need to adapt.
They do need to adapt, indeed. OG, they're in a good place, and of course there were MVP votes again, and there's one person that's even in a little better place with 51,000 votes. It's Thompson. I don't think that is a surprise, right, Jack?
This guy's just if you ask players about Thompson, it's just the way they describe him is just, you know, he plays these builds or things in pubs where like someone would usually get reported for doing that sort of thing. He has these like Grant said, like these kind of weird deaths. You're not kind of sure what's happening. You know, oh, he seems to just be feeding here, but then all of a sudden things just start to work out for them. He's somewhere, he's making space. There's 4 people killing him. Anna's getting what he wants, and then it just somehow mystically works out. And you're getting pulled all over the place when you play against OG. There's always someone like, you know, somewhere behind the creep wave, cutting it somewhere at your tier 2 or tier 3. Some games they're kind of content to sit back a little bit and then they just come back suddenly on high ground. Other games, like Grant said, they just kind of run at you as 4 and they're all over the place. And it's maddening, frankly, to think about and to plan against, especially because against Thompson has such a unique hero pool, such a unique understanding of the heroes that he plays. Some of these heroes we haven't seen anyone else even use in many rounds.
I mean, the Zeus, right? Yeah, he can sit back, do some farm, you know, get those items up, or he can just play Monkey King and sit behind your tower at 10 minutes. He plays an assortment.
Jack, you said that sometimes the players are all over the place, and I know 2 people that are all over the place as well. It's Casey and Slacks.
Well, hello there. Look at all these beautiful people that we found having an amazing time watching some good Dota, including this guy.
Hi, I'm beautiful too.
Mama hoo hoo. All right, we're going to interview a few people because there are so many people having fun with Dota. Where are you from?
I'm from South Africa.
And what are your thoughts on this tournament so far?
It's amazing. It's perfect. And the series, Anna is having the games of his life. Yeah, for sure. I love every second, and Miracle is my favorite play the last 4 years. It go either way. Just a message for Chinese fans. 中国的 Dota 最好 Dota.
Nice, yeah. I love it. All right, I'm gonna hand this to you. Can you be trusted?
Yes. Are we about to see the last game of Ti9? What did you do?
Excuse me?
Are we about to see the last game of Ti9? Is OG going to win the tournament?
Yeah, of course.
Well, oh, you sound very confident. How do you know that?
Yeah, because they have the best mid and the best carry. Of course.
Whoa, all right, you heavily disagree.
No, support Liquid. Liquid!
Why is Liquid going to come back?
I love Temple Assassin very much. He's my favorite hero, so I support double three.
Templar Assassin doesn't look very good after those last 2 games. Are you sure?
But he plays well when he against LGD. LGD is my favorite team, so yeah, we respect them.
Does anyone think Liquid is going to take this? Yes! Does anyone think? Oh, let's go Liquid! Does anyone think OG's going to take it? OG? Sounds pretty divided, Casey.
It is. Oh no! We're in the middle of a Dota war.
Oh, we gotta get out
We've
of here.
got Dota OG versus Dota Liquid, and all these people. Look at everybody lining up, so excited about the Dota.
I'll be real with you, I don't care who wins. I just like watching people fight. Let's get back into that series, girl. Ti9 is wrapping up.
Wait.
What?
Do you have any idea how you actually sound when you're this loud?
No.
Casey, we're gonna play some Dotes.
Yeah! Okay! Woo! I don't think I'm that cringy. I think I'm actually rather suave. I do an impression of you, but I respect you too much. Now, Shiver, please take us out of this embarrassing moment for Casey.
Thank you. I actually thought Casey was pretty spot on with that one.
Thank you.
I'll get
Very
you finished,
impressive.
Shiver.
Don't worry, let's cut the camera. You'll get them later. I mean, you got the fans. They are very divided. I love seeing that. There's Liquid fans, there's OG fans. The fans are very loud here, too, in the Mercedes-Benz Arena. But we need to get to it, though. We need to talk about what's going to happen in game number 4 because Liquid need to step it up, gods.
They do, and I think it's not just stepping up and playing better. I think it's switching some things up with how they approach the game, picking less greedy heroes, whether it's Mind Control or Weeha. Somebody needs to be more active. You can't just rely on the supports to create space.
Yeah, 100%. I think that Tidehunter finally going to be gone. Maybe we'll see some like an Ogre coming back, even though I believe it was first phase ban. They just need someone who can just run straight at him, and I'm just not even sure what heroes are in the pool that can do that. That's how hard it is to play against OG.
Yeah. We heard Febby say earlier that during a TI finals, the meta normally changes. That is the case in this finals as well, it seems, as we have had Tidehunter be one of the most successful heroes, turning into one of the least successful heroes in the grand finals here. I'm very curious, because obviously the teams are getting 2 minutes, 2 minutes, that would be very short, 10 minutes in between games to just reset and, you know, talk about what they will change in the finals. Jack, you've been on the manager side of things for that. What is the team talking about? Are they talking Dota strats? Are they mentally preparing? What's happening in the backstage?
I think you're just watching what's going on, and you're usually preparing kind of for, I would guess in a situation like this for both opponents, maybe they had their favorite on who was going to win, but there also isn't that much time to really drastically change things, so it's not like you can spend all that time just suddenly, you know, dreaming up something new and trying to make it work. So I'm sure they had kind of a plan coming in. I'm sure they saw some of the heroes that were more popular from both teams that were being used in general, and maybe that's why you're seeing this Pugna or something else that they think works out. I'm also a little bit surprised by Liquid so far this series. Against LGD, they seem to want to play incredibly fast and really push the pace early on, and frankly, you know, punished LGD at least in a few of those games, if not all of them successfully. But yet this series, they seem to have a bit of a different approach to that. So I'm not really sure why that is. But again, you know, I don't think there's that much time either for Kuro to go back to the drawing board and say, against OG, we got to do something entirely different.
You might just be stuck doing what you're doing and hope you just have a perfect game right. Because if you swap it up now, you might just make your players uncomfortable.
Yeah, it is very difficult to swap your entire playstyle. And perhaps it's even better to just at least go out what you're more comfortable with. And speaking of going out, the players are about to go out of the backstage. I don't know if that works that way, but they're about to go in to the pods. A 1-game lead for OG, and that means they are 1 game away from being back back-to-back international champions. And that also means that Liquid is with their backs against the ropes. But guess what? They've been in this situation before. They ran all the way through the lower bracket. They know that they are capable of dealing with this OG squad. And I believe that they are gonna put one heck of a fight in this 4th game of this best-of-5 series. They want to push it to 5. They got the power. Do they have the strats? Does our men have the strats? I think this is where coaches come in, right? This is where you're gonna have all those strats that you had prepared, and then you gotta know and trust that they still work.
Yeah, you do. I mean, on those papers, usually it's if I draft this, if they draft this, I'm going to draft this. But, I mean, you want to stick with that, but clearly it's not working. So maybe you go to, that 2nd, that 3rd, that 4th page in the back, and you're like, all right, we got to dig deep for this one because we don't want to get run over at 20 minutes again.
Saving strats.
The coaches get to see the big picture. The players in the game are so emotionally invested and involved that they're maybe just seeing what's going on in their little microcosm of the game. So the coaches have to come up big. They need to, be able to give the kind of feedback to make those small tweaks that can change a game 4 around.
An invaluable role in Dota 2, definitely one that has evolved over the years as well. Of course, it's only been a couple of years that coaches are even allowed in the booth while drafting. And that has definitely changed. I do want to point out that both of these coaches, we were talking about Soxka on the side of OG and RMN on the side of Team Liquid. They're both original Dota players, as in, we've seen them in TI. RMN was only a sub in TI1, but we're counting that, for the moment.
With Kuroki, he was on
With
Gamers with Kuroki.
Yep. And Soxka, of course. Soxka has played together with Seb 3.5 years of his career before he took a break to pursue other avenues. But both of these guys, they are fulfilling a sort of, it feels like a similar role. They're like the right hand of the captain. They're not sitting in the drafting seat as we see in Chinese teams.
Yeah.
They're just taking a different role. It proves to be the more successful.
Yeah,
dare I say?
it seems to be. I mean, we saw it. I mean, it's kind of the same in the Western scene with Sunby, right? He's definitely not there like telling Puppy what to pick. He's back there, maybe they have a question, he'll answer it. They'll be like, what do you do if they do this? And he'll just be there to help them out, like move them along. But at the end of the day, whoever's clicking that button, they have the final say.
Yeah, drafts have become, I think, a very, team effort too. Like you heard OG talk about their last TI Grand Finals in True Size, as well as their documentary. A lot of it was just putting players on their comfort hero and letting them decide what hero they're going to be playing rather than a captain or drafter saying, you're playing this.
Yeah, and coaches obviously can have very different roles. Sometimes you need someone who's better with the kind of team atmosphere, team psychology, maybe being a bit of a goon as well to make sure people have fun and have a good time and can rebound from losses. Other times you need someone who's a bit more strategically focused or analytical. It kind of really depends on what the team needs. The Dota 1 trend you mentioned is kind of interesting because last year OG's coach, also an old Dota 1 veteran. So is this a new trend? Is this a thing? Do the top teams have to go
Bring him
find
back.
someone from Dota 1?
Yep.
We're going to find out if we are going to have a 5th game to the series or if OG is going to be back-to-back champions right now. It is time for Game 4 of the Grand Finals of the International.
OG versus Team Liquid. Grand Finals, Game 4.
Game 4 beginning with the draft. I'm joined by Pyjamas and Gunner, but don't get too comfortable, all right? Hi, I got a question for you. If it was newbie Grand Finals and there was a lot of talk about coaches, if AUI is like, I'm gonna give another TA another go,
yeah,
what would you be your reaction? Are you gonna be like, all right, you're the coach, you know what's best, or are you gonna be like, dude, this TA is really not working out?
I mean, I would at least give him a minute to explain.
Okay.
Like, I would hope he would have a reason, like, and then I would listen to it, and then after that I would decide. But I would probably, like, I would not want to do it. That's how I'm feeling like right now. I'm not in the finals or anything. I'm not drafting here, but I'm just not feeling that hero.
Yeah, and if we're trying to find symptoms of why Liquid are just getting obliterated in these past 2 games, it definitely seems like the Templar Assassin is not helping them.
Yes. It just seems that it has too many bad matchups versus Thompson's favorite heroes that like run you over. Because I can see the idea why they think it would be good. Like all these traps to make it hard to run in. But if you lose your lane that bad, and it's also like affects, like they're losing that lane and they're losing every other lane these past 2 games. And when you do that, like, oh, like, what do you do? It's just extremely hard to play.
I think, like you said, it's really not good against Thompson's hero pool, right? Like TA, Thompson's not like a standard mid laner, right? I don't think you see him as this like TA, He's very SF, non-traditional, Storm, right? Yeah. You see him as this like Pugna, Monkey King, you know, Ember to an extent, right? Yeah.
And then I guess Invoker, but even
yeah, Invoker,
he
stuff
plays
like that.
non-traditional,
And TA beats like all the standard heroes, so everyone's really used to playing against TA. And all his heroes are just good against TA. So it's like you said, he's just kind of used to, I'm pretty sure, just beating TA in these games. Yeah.
Oh, and
no.
as we see the first phase bans, what's the new change? Elder Titan gets banned out, and guess what slips through? It's the IO. OG immediately snap it up.
Yeah, they haven't lost, yeah?
Pi, you were a victim of some Ana IO. What was that experience like?
No, it's one of those, like, the game was, we're feeling pretty good. And then suddenly, like, when that hero hits his timing, like 15 with Ags, like, you're just dying. Like, you're just dying. And I think it's not very complicated to play for him. Like, they don't really care how he does in lane. Like, they want to do fine. But then he's just farming jungle. Like, that's all he does. And he has a very, like, he looks at a fight, right? And he's like, if I want to be there, I click the spell and I'm there. If I don't want to be there, I'm just going to continue to farm.
It's like having an alchemist combined with a specter in one hero.
A little bit. Like, he doesn't farm that fast, but he farms, like, he doesn't farm that much slower than anyone else. Yeah. And he has insane timings.
His timings are just like better for the gold he gets than most other carries. His 15 Ags is like,
yeah, it's
probably the
it's
best
insane.
15 timing I think in the game right now.
Probably.
Now, before talking about our game, it was like they first pick ET, right? And I'm like, oh shit. The Wisp is in the pool. I'm like, oh my god, they're gonna pick Wisp. And like everything, like I had thought about, like everything just looked weak. Like everything just felt weak. And then like, yeah, but then you take a deep breath, you just go with whatever. And like, we can do this.
And Liquid take a breath and they go for the Chen, which did bring them success in their first game, and they take the Omni Knight, which OG had picked earlier.
I'm a little surprised they didn't go for AA. I believe it's been banned out every game here, cause like
because the Alchemist AA.
Yeah, it's Alchemist. It's good versus, pretty good versus Shen, pretty good versus Omni Knight. I don't think OG will pick it here though. It's kind of awkward playing with a Wisp.
They don't really have stuns either.
Yeah. So I'm hoping Liquid have like, you know, their last pick, right? So they have like a lot of avenues opened up now. I hope.
I'm a little scared right now of this Wisp because.
Only a little.
Yeah. Okay. So commonly.
Wait, of this Wisp or for this Wisp?
Of.
Oh, okay.
Because commonly you want like a hero that gets on top of this Wisp, right? Especially that 15 timing. He's scariest when his balls are max range.
Yeah. Right.
And he's able to like chase you, and then you get slowed. So if you get a little closer, he pulls him in a little, and he stays at this like max range basically. Neither of those heroes are full commit heroes, right?
Right.
The Omni can supplement like one if you have like an Ember, say, right? He can go in with a Grace, and that's decent. But these two are more like you want to fight. They want you to fight into them, right? They want you to fight in this Chen and this Omni for a lot of heal, and I think that's playing the Wisp's game right now.
This actually reminds me a bit. Liquid plays Secret, right?
Yeah.
And I believe Secret picked Wisp one of the games.
Yes.
They did. And it was one of those, like, and Liquid had a similar like thing going on there with like a lot of heal and like they would push down buildings, and they just didn't let Secret get to their timings. Like they already had a Rax before Wisp was level 15.
Wasn't that was that the Meepo game though?
Yeah, exactly.
Yes, it was the Meepo
So
game.
Meepo is banned out.
Meepo's already gone. Yeah. So now I'm hoping. That's why I'm hoping they have something, because you need this extreme like. It just kills everything that's in front of it. So maybe a Leshrac or something like that. Lesh is gone,
banned.
so...
Yeah, OG's been consistently banning that.
Yeah, because I don't want them to end up with the Lifestealer or something.
Yeah.
I don't...
Other teams had tried the Lifestealer against the IO and it did not work.
Yeah.
I mean, it's too slow, right?
Yeah.
Like you get this Mighty's Radiance timing and you're still weaker than the Wisp.
Yeah. And they also have to... Okay, there's a tiny pick, but Jarex has played it now, Thompson has played it, so they'll probably like hold on a bit. They'll see who plays it later. Because we played against the Bristleback mid with Iron, and that was spooky. That was frightening.
The other ones they've played are Gyro mid, Troll mid,
Mm.
and Windrunner mid. So a bunch of these like attack speed or attack targets, I guess, steroids kind of thing.
So in this Secret versus Liquid game that Team Secret had picked the IO, Liquid went for a Chen, a Tidehunter, an Earth Spirit, a Leshrac, and a Meepo.
Yeah.
So the Meepo and Leshrac are banned out. Tidehunter's still available, but we're not enthusiastic about that hero. But Bristleback gets selected instead.
This was Liquid versus... Or no, this was Secret versus
Secret
Vici,
versus-
right? That they picked Omni Bristle versus the Alk?
Yes.
Yeah, and then they ran this Omni Bristle and they won the game in 20 minutes. Yeah, yeah, I hope that's what they're going for. I mean, I'm guessing that. And I think they kind of stole it a bit from OG now too, the Bristle. Limited their options. OG had a Wisp, right, with it though? It was like Omni Bristle Wisp? Yes. That was way scary, but they have a Chen to kind of like take place of the Wisp. Yeah.
Most likely a no-tail about it.
Yeah, because I feel like how the drafts are setting up, like Liquid actually have a chance here to get a draft that they can end this game quickly with. What about a 3 ABBA? Yeah. You late in against the Omni Knight? I mean, I'm guessing that's like something like that. I haven't really seen. I know that RNG played a lot of Abaddon. Some of the Chinese teams play it as a 3. I didn't look at a lot of replays though. I'm not really sure how strong is in lane or what his timing is. They go like 0-2-1. They skip Miscoil early, and then they go early like Vlad Solar Crest and just kind of buff your team up.
Oh, okay. Yeah, sometimes they'll just straight up take Curse at 1 and just harass.
Yeah, just hit people.
Yeah.
So they picked Liquid pick Earthspirit, right? Last time they were against Wisp in the Secret game.
Yeah.
So I think they're kind of like confident, right, with what happened. I think they're feeling pretty good right now.
But they're still lacking the most important thing in that draft, in my opinion, which was the Leshrac and the Meepo. These are heroes that take structures during the downtime period, which Bristleback can kind of achieve that, but he needs some levels and some farm. He's definitely much slower than a Meepo or a Leshrac.
Yeah. So the last pick for Liquid is interesting. But on the other hand, like they'll see OG's picks now, and Timbersaw.
So a hero that can deal with Bristleback, obviously, if you have reactive armor, then you're not too concerned about Quill Spray being spammed on you.
Yeah, I mean, for OG, it's good that they picked this, because they need to buy time when Liquid are running down lanes. So, like, they can cut waves, spam out creep waves, so they need something like that. How does this Wisp scale to, like, 30, 35, 40 minutes? Like, do you think this OG
games
lineup?
never go late enough, unfortunately.
No, I have a feeling, like, if Liquid don't have like a substantial advantage by Wisp hitting 15 with Axe, I think this game is going to be really hard for them. It's just too much consistent damage without them being able to go on. Like, they have an Abaddon just shielding this Wisp, right?
Yeah,
Like, if it gets to that point, then Liquid are not ahead. I think this... We still have one more pick. Like, maybe they'll pull something out. But how it's looking right now, like, they need to get an advantage within the, like, first 20-25 minutes. So even if the game's even at, like, 25 minutes, you think they'll lose, right? Yeah. I feel OG should be. What a great hero Wisp is these days.
Oh, yeah. I mean, to be fair, this is nothing new. IO being first phase picked is a very common thing in Dota 2 history. It's just not in this role, exactly.
No, exactly. No. That's the funny part. You're just first picking. Everyone knows it's your carry. It's carry Wisp right there. I mean, I don't think it's had this high of a win rate, right? I think it has like maybe 1 loss.
Yeah.
I don't know. I remember like back. I think it was TI when it was released, like TI3, I guess. Then I'm pretty sure the win rate was insane.
The first TI that he showed up was pretty insane. Even though it was very Western biased, very few Chinese teams were doing it. I think it was just eHome at the time with their tinies and stuff like that.
Oh yeah, that was like TI2, I think. And they won every game they played.
That's right.
Really? Yeah.
But other teams were still sleeping on it. But every single that's one of the reasons why I considered Liquid. I had mentioned this on an earlier draft panel. Earlier in the season, Liquid weren't looking too great, and it's because IO wasn't in captain's mode. Yeah. You had a free ban against Liquid every single time.
Yeah.
Just now, it's a carry IO, which it's a brave new world.
The funny part about the carry IO is it's not some high skill cap. It's nothing like that. It's
pretty straightforward.
It's very straightforward. It's you go Bassi.
Yeah.
You buy a Helmet Dominator.
Yeah.
You buy Ags. You buy Heart.
Yeah. Win the game.
And once you have Heart, you can ditch your Hot Creep and tether your mid laner.
Yeah.
Or your off laner.
Which, that's a good question. So do you think OG are going to look for someone to enable with their IO, like how they did the Bristleback in the past, or is the dude self-sufficient enough that if you have like the Tiny and the Timbersaw, that's the only partner you need?
Yeah, I'm a little curious how they're thinking about the lanes here. I don't think Thompson plays Timbersaw.
I haven't seen it before.
So
it may have happened.
I'm guessing this is an off-lane Timbersaw. Do you think there's where this Wisp is not a carry? Okay. Oh.
Now there might be, actually.
I think it's a mid Gyro. Yeah.
Okay.
Off lane, there's side lane Timber versus there's Bristleback.
Yeah.
And then a 4 Tiny, a 5 Abba, carry Wisp.
1 Ana. Okay.
That sounds about what they would do. No, because I think if Wisp is still viable as a 4 with Gyro. Because that lane, if you play that right, it's really strong.
Or you can just let both of them be cores, and then it's really, really strong.
Then it gets extra spice. So Liquid needs a carry or a mid. depending on what they want this Bristle to do.
OG is expecting it to be a mid because they banned out the Shadow Fiend.
So I think the Bristle gyro lane's actually decent for the Bristle.
Okay.
So it's not going to be a Templar Assassin, but we'll go to another Weehawk Classic. It will be the Wind Ranger.
I like the idea of the hero better. I don't know how good it is this game. I'm unsure. I actually don't think it's that good. But like the idea is correct. Like you have spells that you can use on them. It has a lot of damage that they can actually kill the Wisp at the start, right? Even through shield, I think. The Wisp is killable if the winner has like, you know, MKB, BKB.
Right.
You can't really stop him.
And
Wisp doesn't really go MKB either for the evasion, so.
It's rare, but I guess also in a traditional sense, like IO being tethered to another unit, gives potential shackle targets, stuff like that. But this is the last potential game for Team Liquid. Will they be able to stay in this grand final bracket? Maybe Purge can give a little bit more explanation as we pass it to him with the last word.
If you guys are just getting here, IO is the carry that has been dominating the tournament, at least one of them, and Liquid gets a chance to see if they can break it, but the downside is that they don't get the same heroes that they were able to use earlier to defeat it, so it's going to be a lot harder to beat it. So what they ended up doing instead is trying to abuse Chen. One of the benefits of Chen is that his aura increases the healing that any of his nearby allies or creeps give, and they're pairing that with another hero that can heal, Omni Knight. So those two guys can heal and buff up their strong tanky hero Bristleback and make him pretty close to unkillable. But on the other side, what OG's playing around with is also pretty strong. They've got Io, they've got the Tiny, they've got Abaddon who can also buff up, but most importantly they have Timbersaw. And Timber's a hero that has some flexibility in how effective he is, but most importantly his first skill will reduce the strength or primary stat, and there's a lot of strength heroes over on the Liquid side, so it's very possible that Timber can run away with this game if he has a good match. Keep an eye on him. Without further ado, Game 4 of the TI Grand Finals. Let's start at the casters.
Thank you, Purge. Game 4. OG up at the moment in this best of 5, 2-1 against Liquid. Their last two games, some of the most dominant performances we've seen from the entire tournament.
Yep.
In this game 4, Liquid, they have had the chance to switch it up. We're not seeing the TA. We are going to be going back to the Weehawk Wind Ranger. It is something a little different. It's something we know he's good at, but is it good enough to beat the OG IO, Giannis?
They've definitely looked to go for something that's more early game centric. The last two drafts, they went for the Tidehunter, the TA, and a Jug, or Tidehunter, TA, and Lifestealer. Very slow paced draft. This time, they get their Chen. They've been very good with the Chen, as we saw them also playing it earlier on today. They're very good at playing aggressive and making moves around the map, either with GH playing a Tusk or GH playing Urspray. I feel like I always see them having one of these two combos with that Chen to make those moves around. And Bristleback too. This is a very early paced hero, as we see the Goo as well as the Spray get picked up at 1 and 2, and you are pretty much the strongest hero on the map when you have that. And we see them immediately set up with an aggro tri-lane. They have a Headdress on Kuroki for that extra health regen, and they really want to put the pressure to shut down Ana on the IO.
Let's see if they can do it. We saw some scary stats on the Ana IO low into this game. He is 19-1 in the last 20 games he's played. And of course, here at TI, 5-0, no one has been able to beat him. Liquid are going to have to see if they can do it in their last chance here.
No, this is the Goo that we're talking about, that really strong level 1. Are they going to actually go to dive? No, he has a shield available, and they actually can. Doesn't have a salve on himself this time around, though, like he did in the last 2 games. And also, I believe with the carry IO, not every single time, but they did have an Elder Titan with it most of the times. That's where I feel like it helps a lot when you're playing into aggro lanes, because you cannot aggro tri-lane into an Elder Titan most of the time. So this time it's going to be a Batten who's not nearly as strong as that ET.
Oh, we'll see Liquid with that start, able to make sure that the creep wave meets underneath the tower so they can get them the creep equilibrium in their favor. Very interesting to watch some of these other lanes, see how Weehawk can get off to a start against the tops and mid gyro. He should have a decent shot here, right, in this 1v1?
Yeah, he should be able to. He has higher base damage. Yeah. The thing about Gyrocopter is you have this godly animation. One of the best animations in the game that's absolutely instant on range heroes, and you have missiles, and you have a Tiny who's going to constantly be throwing Weehawk back into the tower.
That's a lot of hands there, and it all looks to add up. They drag him back. He's got the point in the win run, looking for the body blocks. Jerax won't be able to quite get it entirely, but still able to get a good amount of damage done. Weehawk in mid.
Has to be careful for that next toss back as Jerax is going to go for it again.
He is. Jerax going deep behind the tower, seeing if he had the control. Up he goes with the toss. Thompson closing in. Win runs back online. As Weehawk can hold his distance, but OG already getting incredibly aggressive in this middle lane.
It's the way they like to play with Jerax on the Tiny. Just run around, shut down the mid laner. Doesn't matter what hero it is, you're going to be able to just throw him every single time he walks up for a toss. Weehawk gets his salve off.
We're certainly seeing, though, down bottom, this tri-lane, it is able to bring these heroes down pretty low. Obviously, the question is if they can push them over the edge and get the kills, but the aggression certainly is there. And once the level 2s come out for the 3 members of Liquid, we'll see that pressure amped up even more. Jax is going to come down, help turn this duo into a tri-lane from OG as Kuro pops the Fairy Fire, won't save it. Miscall from N0tail, gets the kill. Now Anna's going to be the focus. Miracle and GH trying to get on top of him, but a quick body block from N0tail and a shield handed over to Anna will mean that Liquid cannot chase any further.
Just eyes on Jerax, right? Jerax is going to just move from lane to lane to lane, looking to just punish the aggressive tri-lane of Liquid, as they can't really respond too well. Chen, not really a hero that wants to be moving around TPing at all. It's GH who has to respond to any types of ganks that Jerax does, and it doesn't feel nearly as good as an Earthspirit, and he's kind of limited on mana as well.
So it sort of talks about the mid, talks about the bottom. This top lane, a 1v1, Seb versus Mind Control, the Timber versus the Omni. What do we expect from this matchup?
Haven't gotten to see this one too often, but I think that they're both going to just be able to farm. I think Seb might actually be able to bully Mind Control a bit, just because you don't have to worry too much about your regen. While on Mind Control, you have to worry about your mana sometimes. But I think they're both going to just end up trading farm and pulling creep waves and whatnot like that, so should be relatively even.
No, definitely seeing, though, this pressure down bottom is continuing to make sure it's very hard for Anna to farm with the rolling onto N0tail. Liquid. I'll take one out of the lane. Anna only being able to get 4 CS so far in this bottom lane. Already Liquid's change up in draft and different approach. It's looking so much better here in the first 3 minutes of game 4.
Oh, for sure. 16 and 11 on Miracle, right? He's getting all these free last hits and denies.
They are running this bottom lane perfectly, keeping this tri-lane advantage.
Top is just manipulation of creep waves, because I think Mind Control is starting to realize that if he stays toe-to-toe versus the Timber, he's going to have some problems, so he's cutting the wave. Bottom. Jerax is running over toward the area. He's only level 1, though, so still not having that stun available for the Tiny just yet to go for those toss back into the tower and stun plays. And it looks like they will be constantly burning the mana of N0tail with this Satyr Mind Stealer that is keeping him very low on mana.
For Liquid, obviously the interest to keep this pressure on, and then they have to find objectives with it. Anna, as the IO, will have that comeback mechanic, sort of once he hits the level 4, going into the jungle, using the spirits to farm those neutrals. So they've got to make as much as they can happen in this favorable lane setup that Liquid have. Another commitment on towards Anna, separating him from N0tail. He'll be able to tether himself back across, see if they can beat down through this overcharge. N0tail pops the stick charges, the spirits around. Turn towards Miracle, but Mango's popped. He still has the mana to fight with. Another shield will hold them off.
It really is a pretty fun lane, though, coming out from OG, right? He's like, oh, I just heal the IO, and the IO heals me. So they're going to be able to always do that and be able to remove all those blue stacks off with the shield as well. It's actually a really clever lane coming out. And he's even maxing, or putting multiple points inside that miscoil for the health efficiency. He miscoils the IO and heals himself for even more because of that.
5-minute runes come up. And OG, they want to try and tackle this 3-on-3. N0tail doing his best to draw their attention away. The avalanche is out onto Miracle. Jax tries to chase the other, but Liquid, they'll be able to grab both of them. Taking the bouncy runes away. Only the one going the way of OG up top. As Liquid continuing to look like this different approach to the lanes is certainly the answer they've been looking for.
They're not killing them, though. They've only killed N0tail once because of how many stick charges they're getting fed down here. The Bristleback just constantly spamming the Quill, spamming the Goo. Everyone's sitting at like 10 stick charges every time they try to make an aggressive move. Now Miracle is up a bit far here.
Jerax is going to be able to make sure that Miracle cannot make the smooth run up towards the top. Another shield's out for N0tail. He may be low, but he's more than safe. Jerax with the toss-up. GH pops the stick charges. He's trying to escape. N0tail keeping on top of him. That Aphonic shield's going to pop soon. It may not even need to as GH is running. One more right click or a miscoil out. That'll do it. The shield pops. They get the kill. Anna does fall, though. Liquid getting the trade.
Nice. And he actually did not pop his magic one there. A bit too much damage coming in. I think the Alpha Wolf and the right click from the Chen caught him off guard how much it actually was there. But mid is the big one. These rotations from Jerax from earlier, Thompson has over a full level advantage onto Weehaw now.
He's struggling.
34-13 to the 19-4. This animation and just getting that extra Wraith Band early really coming into play. And bottom.
Oh, roll up for GH, but a great toss from Jerax keeps Anna on top of the Earth Spirit. Spirits are out, though. So the damage looks like it may not be there unless they can keep the vision, and they can. Tossed in, stick charge pop, though. GH, he's got Miracle by his side. They won't be able to dive for him, and Liquid keep them all alive.
But so they've done a good job bottom of making sure that Miracle's farm. Thompson, though, getting aggressive top onto Mind Control. should be able to chase this one back. The counter out of mana. They pop the Shrine for some mana for the Timber, but Mind Control will be fine. Liquid being forced to use their bottom Shrine too, because the one thing that they're doing, they were putting pressure on and they were getting good farm, but the sustain that's actually coming out from this bottom lane is just too much for them a bit here. As Ana is starting to get this farm built up to those 20 last hits.
The mid lane seems to be the focus for Liquid. They've left Miracle alone. They're trying to collapse in onto Thompson. Thompson, he gets the cooldown off, but the Hellbear smashes in with the clap. Liquid making these moves around Kuro and his army. Getting the pressure on, catching out Thompson mid. Got to keep this tempo up. They're starting to really show that they have within them what OG's been bringing in the first 7 minutes of the last 2 games. They can match this tempo.
And look at Miracle, but down bottom, even pulling away these 2 heroes, even though they do have all their wand charges built up, now it's up to 17 as well. He is pushing them away from the creep wave. That double sustain though coming into play.
Back to Mold's mid, another collapse here from Liquid as they look to dive in on Jarix. They get the kill. Thompson's going to look to try and turn, keep himself on top of Kuro. He has his army ready to tank some of the damage. Thompson is not going to be able to get this kill by the looks of it. Another one charge from Kuro keeps it back alive. The cooldown will be dropped, but Liquid, they can get themselves out of range of it.
They have so much damage in the mid lane right now for Liquid. With Weehawk rushing that Javelin build, he's able to actually punch back onto Thompson pretty hard there every time he does commit forward for a kill. Gives a lot of time to Seb though, as they made that 4-man rotation earlier. Now he's all the way up to level 8. He's got the max reactive armor.
Same to be said though for Mind Control. We're seeing pretty much continuation of even farm between these offlaners.
Yep.
They're both getting exactly the same amount out of this top half of the map. And so far, no one else has been interesting coming over and getting involved. Now, though, that will change. GH and Kuroki, they're looking towards Seb. Going to bring in Weeha as well. Weeha, the focus fire. Have they got the control? There's the rolling with the stuns. Shackle shot follow up from Weeha, along with the power shot. Will do it. Liquid making the maneuvers to put Seb's happy little time on that top lane to an end.
Great use of the Divine Favor there from Kuroki to bring Weeha around freely and saving his TP, so he can constantly be able to move around the map if he has to respond to anything else. Very nice aggressive move, and that's the Javelin coming into play. Since it's magical damage, it's 100 bonus magical damage when you use that Focus Fire versus Timber. Who cares if he has 25 reactive armor stacks? They get themselves a decent amount of pressure on the tower too, getting it down to about 700 HP right now.
Seb's going to come back in, make sure that tower doesn't fall too early.
GH is already moving his way toward top. They don't have another Divine Favor to bring into the Wind Ranger.
So I feel like it's a hard kill without that damage that Weeha offers.
Feels like an impossible kill without Weeha.
The 3 of them can only sort of sit the side and watch as Seb farms the wave under the tower.
Yeah.
See what their intentions are with this move. 10-minute runes are going to come up. See if Liquid can keep a favorable hold of them this time. Mid lane's going to be the focus. TP's coming immediately, and he sheds the shackle off actually before the missile connects. He's able to turn right-click into Jarix. He's tanking the tower too, Jarix. Lines for the power shot. He's not going to be able to find it though. Doesn't get the angle, and Jarix, he can continue to walk away. Liquid are chasing. Another power shot will be available in a second. Can Weeha hit it? He's going to try. Not going to find it, Jarix. He's got the position to TP out behind the trees and will make it back to safety, but Weeha does live.
They waste so much of their time there, and even a TP to protect Weeha. What does that mean? That's just the space. This is what OG wants to do, right? Allow Ana to catch back up after he had a little bit of a rough laning start and get the Dominator, and the Dominator is finished now at this 10-minute mark. So that is where you really start to get enabled quite a lot in the IO to make your moves around the map. But Liquid, they're trying to keep the pressure going. Don't let OG get away with that greed that they're trying to pull off right now. Try to get some tower damage. Every single time a tower is going to start getting pressured, though, you'll see this rotation by Seb. He wants to make sure they don't actually get any of these towers too early. He doesn't have many reactive stacks built up just yet, but he will be okay.
Mid lane Thompson. You see a dive in from Weeha. Weeha tried to close in for the kill, but he didn't have the damage to bring Thompson down. Thompson was able to just drop the combos. Weeha, he got in close range for that attempt.
And you got to be careful as well. Ana, he's jungling in the area, so he can just easily tether, pop. I don't know if you guys did the overcharge there, I didn't catch the end of it, but he can easily tether in it. You can get a little bit of extra HP regen that comes into play.
Looking for Jarix.
Jarix again.
Committing with the magnetized TPs will now start to come into play. Thompson's here. Jarek's still alive. They're trying their best to hunt him down through the trees. He'll be able to toss back the Hellbait Smasher. Rockets dropped to keep the Magnetize going. They'll get the kill on Jarek's. See if they can find anything in return. OG Thompson, he's on top of Kuroki. GH, we are joining the gang. They're surrounding Thompson with a divine favor. Bring it, we are in. Liquid, they're going to be able to get both of them. Kuroki making these moves across the map, bringing in the team when required. Kuro, he's 3, 1, and 4. Every single one of these 7 kills has been down to Kuro and his map movements.
And his aggressive plays. They're not expecting these recalls. They're not expecting these divine favors at all every single time he's been able to set it up. And he's almost got a mech finished up on this Chen so early on. It's going to be a lot of burst heal. And like the draft panel mentioned, you look at Liquid's draft and they're really trying to set the tempo. They're trying to be aggressive, get early towers down with this Chen, with this Bristleback, and try to get an early roast and get that big advantage to take advantage of carry IO. You have to try to take advantage of it somehow.
They're waiting there on the high ground. They'll immediately burst through the Aphotic Shield. Notail, he's trying to run. The Smasher's after him. Notail's got the backup of Ana. Mind Control's going to head in. Liquid, they're diving on forward. GH will be kept safe by the Heavenly Grace. Kuro may have dove a little too far this time. Will be surrounded. The 4 of them take down Kuro, put an end to his reign across the map. As OG responding in their numbers now in that middle lane, they won't let Liquid get away with this any longer.
They still, OG has a very strong way to fight, even in the early game. Even if they do have a greedy IO pick, it's what it provides you, especially when you have a Gyro. Gyro is all about that early fights, same thing with Ti9. And even Timbersaw, but Seb right now, we know he doesn't really want to show up except for the tower defenses. And he's also going to be matching that Chen, who's going to be an early mech. It's actually going to be a mech Timbersaw since they have IO. So this amount of sustain that could come out from OG pretty soon is going to be pretty hard for Liquid to deal with this. Seb, he actually jumps forward for GH.
He goes deep. We are going to turn with a focus fire. Seb, of course, has got the max reactive armor. Thanks to that, Shackle won't lag. Seb, continue to back off. Chains out, back over the river. He's fine. Liquid will try and turn their attention towards Thompson, but with Notail by his side, they cannot dive up to the high ground. Seb holding them back.
5 Liquid heroes in the mid lane. Trying to brawl again at the same time as last game. It's 13 minutes in, and there's 9 heroes or 8 heroes positioned around this area. They want to go for Notail, but he's got ulti.
Miracle's going to continue to chase this under the Titu, and they will get it. Seb is trying to turn. The missile is out onto Kuro. Does Seb have the burst? Not quite. Magnetizes out, and Seb has to retreat. Shackle does latch. Liquid. They've got the lockdown. They've got the roll forward. The kickback. They'll crush him. It's Liquid. They're diving again.
They want top.
They got a bit of a flavor of how OG was playing in these last 2 games, and they're saying we could do it too. Thompson posts the cooldown. They won't go too crazy. They'll let him live. They don't want to dive up towards the tier 3. They know TPs are coming in.
They have to make sure they're hitting the tower because the side lanes are being split push. Ana as well as Jerax are actually pressuring these other 2 towers. And they're not even going to get this one here. It's down into deny range. OG might just be able to deny that mid tower if they choose to do so. Liquid with an overzealous dive there, not losing anybody, but the side lanes giving a lot to that Tiny as well as that IO. And we know the timing is all about just waiting for IO to get not only Aghanims, but get that level 15 talent. That's what OG wants.
He's diving in onto Kuro with the flak as well. Hand of God will not keep Chen alive today.
GH will not get TP'd out. Jerax actually TP's in and gets the toss off in the exact timing.
And OG's actually not done, as they are still hunting for action. Miracle the focus. Thompson's got a DD. A power shot does come out. Lands on Thompson.
Bit too aggressive there from Thompson. He'll throw down the call down just to clear the
The Shackle actually reaches across the trees, but no tell. He's there with a shield. Thompson goes for the TP out. The focus fire, but the damage is not enough. Thompson saved.
Normally.
A spray on the way out. Thompson will escape. Liquid, it's 9-6 in their favor, but the net worth difference, it's pretty much even. As you say, sure, Liquid, they are bringing the aggression, finding the kills, but space is being given to those important members of OG.
Yeah, especially Ana. Halfway to that Aghanims already. Level 11 finished up. He's got the Spirits applied slow, so he can fight as soon as he has that Aghanims, of course, with the talent, but the big one is that 15, that extra Spirit hero damage that does come out. But yeah, look at this immediately. Seb now positioned up top. He wants to push the top tower as soon as Liquid is positioned in mid. And Jerax already looking to set up down towards the bottom lane. Liquid have to just get these towers. Have to get some type of map advantage here.
Once Ana has the Aghanims, things are going to start getting very tricky for Liquid when they turn up like this.
Yeah. especially when they
Spirits
have,
will be out.
Yeah, and they have Bristle. That's a good thing, right? Bristle can be good versus the IO if you can get on top of the goo. You don't have the highest armor traditionally on the IO, but he's versus an actual counter. Timbersaw, very good versus Bristle back at all stages.
Radiant structures are fortified.
It's just that farm game, OG.
Got mind control. Looking towards Seb up top, but it's hard really for these heroes without the shackle shot or GH getting a beautiful angle. It's very hard for them to kill Seb.
It's very hard for them to kill pretty much anybody if they don't have Weehaw. If they can catch some of the supports and running around by themselves, they can maybe pick them up, but they really need Weehaw for the damage. The rest of them do not really provide that at this point in the game versus what they're against. Magnetize can be good, but there's a lot of ways that they can deal with it, not only with the tankiness of how they are, but also there's an advantage. We just remove it a lot of the times.
And Seb, he can just get away with this, pushing this wave into the tier 2 every single time, knowing that sure, if Liquid do come for him, it's going to be so many of their resources that it's probably going to be worth it for OG to have Seb positioned that aggressively and for him to draw that much attention towards him. Thompson's getting space, Anna's getting space.
Look at that build by Thompson. Diffusal gyrocopter.
Wait, what?
Diffuse? Gyrocopter.
Treads diffusal gyrocopter. Fancy that. Thompson doing something I don't think I've ever seen this.
I mean, it's interesting because it's going to provide a lot of mana burn, which is going to be annoying for Liquid. It gives you a lot of agility, and it gives you ways to run around and chase heroes down, I guess.
It's Liquid. They've got the kill squad getting mobile again.
They can transition this into a Roche. DD rune on the Bristleback, they've got Pipe. Yeah, they can easily do this one with the Medallion as well. However, OG, they know what's going on. They can look to contest this as well. As do they have the Aghanim's finished up? It's almost there for Ana. And they're pinging it. Now they're aware of it, but it looks like it's almost too low for them to contest with all this minus armor. Liquid will get away with this one.
And let's see what they can do with it. Aegis, Pipe, they have those early tools to start making moves. Start looking towards some of these tier 2 towers.
Ags is complete now on the IO. So Ags IO finished, and we're about to hit 20 minutes. So I'm assuming that OG's gonna buy the tome, give it to that IO so he gets the extra spirit damage. Liquid, they gotta group up and try to get something big here. They gotta catch out these backlines heroes. They really have to get on top of the IO with a nice shackle shot, and for Wiga had to focus fire him. They have the control and stun the IO.
Hunting for Ana. Won't quite find, but no, definitely, yeah, thinking about it, this diffusal blade, I see what you mean. It does make sense, right? There is, you look at what Miracle and Mind Control in particular.
They're completely dependent on their mana.
And they're dependent on the fights being drawn out, right?
Yeah.
They revel in situations where the fight continues. And sure, they can't kill them quickly necessarily, OG, but Thompson, he can burn, he's going to take their mana away, and they're going to be essentially sort of these useless, tanky targets on the front that OG can then ignore and look for the more volatile kills.
And he's acting as this super frontliner. And Bristleback is a hero that if you don't have mana, you don't have damage. So if he's just going to be burning the Bristle, I can see it. I can see it. And he's super farmed, and look how tanky he is. 2,000 HP on the gyro. There's going to be an MKB finish now for Weehaw, so his damage is going to be very high as Seb's getting slowed down. He's got Greaves available, but he's getting burst.
I mean, they're bringing him low. He's got the shield. Now they'll be able to turn. Cooldowns dropped down by Thompson. And here we have it. Miracle. His mana's gone. He's able to pop the stick, get it a fair bit of it back, and he's able to head back in, pushing OG back behind the racks. They're getting a good amount of damage onto this tier 3 tower. Liquid. They push on.
On IO. That spirit hero damage is there now. Ana gonna join the fray finally.
There we have it. Miracle's mana. It's pretty much entirely gone by Thompson's focus. He'll look towards GH. He's trying to off, but he can't get out. There's no mana. GH, he's dead. And now OG, they have that numbers advantage for this defense. They'll try and change the ball. Thompson, the rocket barrage brings Miracle down. Then the shackle turnaround. They're looking for Jarek. Jarek's backing away. Thompson focusing Miracle. Miracle's still out of mana because of this diffusal. Jarek, he's able to cover. The GA is out. Weehaw will fall though. The magic damage is there for Thompson. Miracle's trying to run. Another stick charge pop, but Jarek can shut him off. In fact, Jarek, he's ready to try and look for more potentially. There's only the once.
To go for the back line.
Thompson, he's on top of Kuro. Another cooldown's there. The toss back into the combo. Jarek's has the control. They're all getting picked apart as Mind Control falls. Miracle is surrounded.
And they're all dead.
able to get this as well. OG, they will hold.
And they're even taunting him. They toss him to the dragon. Holy crap. Thompson, the defusal.
The defusal
is absolutely working.
Something
Burn all their mana.
that I don't think anyone would have expected to see. Gyro, the deciding game. The defusal blade, Gyro, it is perfect for this point of the match.
He just did an insane amount of damage, front lines the entire time, and then Ana just has free reign to get all that Spirit Hero damage, and it's back completely the other way, and it feels like the control is just gone.
What do you do? When your mana's gone, what do you do?
Oh my god. OG starting to take over the game completely here.
Showing new ways to play the game at this incredibly late moment in the tournament.
And now Thompson has an Aghanim's as well, so not only is his regular hits going to be proccing that... yeah, he's going to be burning a lot of mana.
And then just moving into the base now, OG. They're pushing in. Flag starts to force Liquid back. They'll focus Miracle. Miracle, he'll get himself out and away. The missile is out. They're trying to put the heals to save him, but Miracle's dead.
So much damage.
Jax is in with the combo. They'll bring down GH. GH has buyback. He'll buy back immediately. Weehar's going to be back up in 5. Fortification is popped, but OG, they're not going away.
They're too healthy. They still have greaves available for Seb as well this whole time. They're pretty... No-Tail's kind of low, but once they pop those greaves, everyone's going to be topped off.
A tier 3's going down. 22 minutes again, and in a match where it looked like Liquid had the pace to maybe bring something different, but we're back to the same place that we were in Game 2 and Game 3.
There's no stones for GH. He can't contribute anything. There's no magnetize either. They're just taking this Rax easily.
It's gone. They cannot get close to hold this. As OG, we'll see what the plan is next. They'll back off.
They're happy with that. Why not? They can back up, clean up shrines, but I think if Liquid chases out, OG can definitely just turn to look for the fight. They have no cooldowns that they're waiting on. Everything is available for them, and they're just so farmed right now at this point in the game that Liquid, they're walking out together, but like I was mentioning before, there is one stone on GH, and that is it. So his team fight potential, and he's pretty much the only team fighter on the side of Liquid right now, is just not there.
And OG's ready to go back and again. Jackson with the wrap around the combo down onto mind control. The cooldown's there. Liquid have to back off. Again, mind control's mana pretty much got. He's able to pop the stick, get the GA off at least. Can they fight for the duration of it though? They're getting towards Seb. Wheels are pop. Seb's back pretty much up to 4. Jackson with another combo onto We Are stand up. We Are dead. Miracle's the new focus. The missile followed through. OG pushing Liquid back to the base. Mind control out of Thompson with his diffuser blade, picking them apart. Roll 4 for GH for Seb. Cuts him down. Double kill. They're pushing on OG. Liquid getting forced back to the base as Liquid have nothing. They have nothing to offer, folks.
They're just giving, look at this, they're diving Fountain in TI Finals. They want Kuroki in the Fountain as well. They're gonna get him, they're chasing Miracle as well. Oh my God.
I can't believe this. I can't believe what we're seeing in this Game 4. OG, you thought you saw it all in Game 2, you thought you saw it all in Game 3, then it is gold! OG are your 2-time TI champions, they've done it, folks!
And in what a fashion! These last 3 games didn't even seem close. Liquid, they had something going for themselves, but then they hit the brick wall. OG is the best team in the world. They are on a completely different level.
No question, they are so far ahead of anybody else that plays this game for a living. Game 2, 3, and 4 were absolutely ridiculous. The showing was magical from OG.
They just seem to know exactly what to do with whatever draft they're giving. It doesn't matter. They have so many different drafts, so many different play styles. They can execute all of them. Liquid seemed like they stood no chance after that first game.
And they've earned their money. $15 million, just over it, in fact, going the way of OG for this victory, on top of the $11 million they won last year.
Unbelievable performance by them, and in such style. Busting out the carry IO in the final game, having a Timbersaw that they haven't played too much at all either. These guys can play anything.
They absolutely can. Innovators, magicians, bringing something new to the game, and when it counts the most in the grand finals. Game 1 was shaky, we had a bit of fun. Game 2, 3, and 4, they played their hearts out for every single minute of the matches. OG, the best team of all time, and with this, their second TI win. And not just the second TI win, but the second back-to-back. They do it 2 years in a row. There is no question that we're witnessing the best team of all time.
I'm at a loss of words from the way that they played this. It was just an absolute beatdown. They're just way too good at Dota.
And this sort of accomplishment, the first team to do it, 2 times back-to-back,
the thing that so many TI winners in the past have dreamt of. Winning one TI, of course, is fabulous, but to do two, that was always the goal for all of our previous champions. And here in 2019, the International 2019, OG are the ones to do it first. The two-time TI champions, OG, ladies and gentlemen.